Hey, SBG solution-based gang, like, share, subscribe. Say no to rim, brothers, mothers, fear and sell no good suckers. Hype him up, hype him up. Shouts out, showroom, Bracy in the waters. Wake up, morning show, salute, big dog, shout out to the lure. PH, Diva, salute, Brownsville, SBG solution-based gang.
Let's go. Good day, everyone. Good day. How are we doing? Today is beautiful outside. Thank you so much for everybody that be showing me so much love and keeping my energy up. I really appreciate it. It counts. It goes so far. That productive, beautiful energy, it goes far. Trust me, it helps a lot. So thank you so much. You help me keep going every single day. Appreciate y'all. Salute to the SBG. What up, OG Do Dirty? Good day to you. What you laughing at, goddamn? What you laughing at, OG Do Dirty? Goddamn.
Sorry. The vertical or horizontal?
Either one. It don't matter.
Sorry.
Man, oh man. That girl, listen, that young lady, girl, she ain't young. She ain't young. It shows why she have 101 cases in a row. That's what I would say. It shows. You could clearly see that she is levels of. I think it's so interesting. Right. Why? I think it's so interesting. Why did the lawyers believe it's okay? Can somebody explain to me why is it okay? Why is it okay for the young men to be interviewed by Officer Tatum, but it's not okay for them to be interviewed by Nancy Grace? Did you notice? Why is the young man available for Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum, rather than Nancy Grace? Why is that? Can somebody please answer that question? Maybe because, that's the big boys table. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no gonna be no soft interview. This is not a promotional tour. Because as we've seen, what it seemed on the Officer Tatum show on YouTube, it was very homeboyish. These are my people. They good people. The main theme of the last video from our interview, or whatever you want to call that thing, that Brandon Tatum did with those young men and Mr. Call Cox on his forehead. Why would you have Cox on your forehead? Sometimes the jokes will write themselves, be sneezy. Why would that man have Cox on his forehead? Like I didn't know that was okay. I thought that broke YouTube guidelines. I thought that lawyer was breaking YouTube guidelines when he had Cox on his forehead. What in the world is going on? Nevertheless, when they was all there promoting themselves and saying how, and the main thing that it kept being said was, these are some good Ocean Springs young men. Everybody, some good Ocean Springs young men. Like, he kept repeating that over and over again. And I guess if you say it enough to enough people, maybe the people will start believing that these are some good boys. And if you're a good boy, you can't do bad things. Because maybe they are some good gentlemen. And they made a bad decision, or a bad accident happen, or maybe they have nothing to do with it at all. We have no idea. What we do understand is a lot of things that been being said and how they are moving are very suspicious. The things that Officer Tatum said on his show, very suspicious. The way how he's backing these young men. The way how he's promoting they GoFundMe. The way how he is going against the mother, saying that she is trying to profit off of her son. And he's upset about these things. At least that's what it seems as. However, he's not upset that his friends are that his friends are profiting off of their friend's death. They almost at the quota that they're looking for. They was looking for $100,000. They reached that 100,000 so quick. They said, let's double it. Now they asking for $200,000. Mr. Tatum, you don't have an issue with these young men making a profit off of their friend's death? You don't have a problem with these young men not going to the funeral? You don't have a problem with these young men saying, hey, I love Nolan more than anybody else in the world? But yet you didn't go to his funeral to say your last goodbye? Good day to you, Shatira. You don't have no issues with that? However, one thing I can say is this. When you go around other sharks, people that want to actually they don't have an interest on painting you as a good person or a bad person. They are just trying to get out the truth. That's when somebody like Nancy Grace comes into play. Because she doesn't care what side of the coin. She don't care if you're a good person or a bad person. Because she done worked courtrooms long enough to understand good people can make some bad decisions. Ooh, don't make me baby girl. Don't make me turn this goddamn show off. Don't hate me. What you doing? You better get out the chat before I turn this goddamn show off and put the kids to sleep, kids. It's time to go to bed. It is time to put the kids to bed. Uh-oh. What? Oh, man. That's right, Angie B. So she don't give a damn about attempting to make somebody look good or bad. She's just listening to the words that you are saying. Yeah. She's just listening to the words that you are communicating, and she's asking the tough questions. So shout out to Nancy Grace. We're about to jump up into this video. Make sure so we can have the best show possible. Let's raise this with y'all help. We can do this together, and we can have the best show on YouTube. We can do this together, goddamn. I'm here every day. You need to just be here with me every day, putting in the work just like me. All you got to do is hit the like button, hit the share button. That's all we asking. I can't help it, big dog. Shout out to the Cash App. Oh man, thank you so much. This means so much to me. Shout out to the Cash App. It says, thank goodness it's Friday. Good day. You got this. Thank you so much. That's that love I need right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. So let's jump into this video. Let's see what she told. Let's see what Nancy talking about. You know what I'm saying? And also make sure and go ahead and check to see if the super chat is working. 99 cents, you know what I'm saying? See if the like, can somebody check to see if the damn like buttons work? Because I'm not sure. Maybe, Shicey Bum, what this is Nancy Grace is getting belt to ass. That's what she doing, Shicey. She putting belt to ass. I ain't not, like, see, this is the thing. A lot of these people, Shicey Bum, they used to people just softballing them and just believing them and taking them for their white word. Nancy like, no, bitch, I'm white too. I'm not going to just take you up for your word. I'm going to listen to what you say, and I put people away of all colors. She put green people, brown, yellow, white. She don't give a damn. She be out there cooking. And we about to see, hopefully, we're going to see who's going to get cooked. Because I do find it very interesting, Shicey Bum. I find it very interesting that Officer Tatum was able to get those young men on the like 3, 4, 5, 10 times of an interview, and they didn't say nothing yet. They ain't say not one thing yet. I thought when we was interviewing when we was reviewing that interview the other day, I thought we was going to get so much information and it's going to prove left or right. And the only thing that proves is that these are some good young men. That's the only thing they said throughout the whole damn video. And he gave out some threats and you know what else I find interesting, Shicey? This is another thing that I didn't realize until much later. As you know, as we keep deep diving into these situations, what I realized is that lawyer with the cocks, all those cocks on his forehead, you know who else he was the lawyer for, Shicey Bum? Shicey Bum, do you know who else this man that had cocks on the top of his forehead? Do you know who he was the lawyer for? Do anybody know? This man was the same lawyer that represented that white man in Tanzania with that beautiful black woman named Janae. You remember that beautiful young black girl named Janae that went to goddamn Tanzania? He dropped down on one knee, proposed to the girl, and then the very next day, she comes up unalived and saying that she unalived herself. He was the lawyer for that case. He represented that white man. I forgot his name. John McCain or something of that nature. What was that man's name? Something McCain. That's the type of things he represents. With his damn 2 beaver teeth. I hate his damn beaver teeth. With cocks on his damn forehead. So this man is a very high profile lawyer. He deals with these race cases, right? So even though he's attempting to act as if we got to take race out of it, he's a goddamn race. Come on. It is no coinky dink that you got 2 very high profile cases that's dealing with race. How did you get called down to little old Ocean Springs, Mississippi? We're gonna get down to the bottom of it. Go ahead. We're gonna let Nancy cook. So we're not trusting too much. We're not gonna trust too much. We're gonna just leave it straight down the middle. You are not trustworthy, and we're not gonna judge you on it. We're just gonna take you at face value, and that's just what it is. We ain't trusting nobody. Hey, Shicey, you better watch out for those damn Chads. Shicey, you better watch out for those damn Chads. Don't make me have to come down to DC, girl. Baby girl.
Bombshell. Joining us tonight, Nolan's friends, lawyers fight back. Who's telling the truth? They think they know, but do they? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Let's go, Nancy.
There's a big honking mark, subcutaneous, deep reddening tissue on his occipital. If I hit somebody in the back of the head, it'd be right there.
There was no indication that there was any kind of contusions on the hand, the arm, no kind of defensive event.
Back to Officer Tatum, star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube. Have the friends taken polygraphs?
Good question.
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me, that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And so, and they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took a polygraph test. Why do you say that's
from what you understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and passed?
Yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying from my understanding. They told me that all the boys except for one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot to take tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot to take the test. It's not a traditional lot to take test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lot to take the test. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if the people were telling the truth or not.
Did they take a polygraph would be no. Did they take a polygraph would be no. So then the answer to did they take a polygraph would be no. So then the answer to did they take a polygraph would be no.
Woo! That is smoke for your ass, right? She got down to like, we ain't dealing with this liar language. We ain't doing this with this liar language. Did they take a polygraph? The answer to that would be no. Shout out to the official YouTube purge. Salute to you. Thank you so much, my brother. Shout out to Time Wiles. Oh no, are you serious? Salute to that. Salute to that. And that is the kind of questioning that we need for these cases. So we can just get down to the truth. We don't need no narrative pushing. We don't need to say these are some good boys or these are some bad boys. We don't need that at all. We don't need to paint no narratives on those young men. We don't need to paint no narratives on Nolan. We don't need to paint any of those things. What we need is get down to the actually what we can figure out what is the truth in this whole situation. And shout out to somebody like Nancy that is just attempting to get solid answers so we can make a clear decision. Shout out to her. Because that was just great right there.
That is Officer Tatum from The Officer Tatum on YouTube. Joining us tonight are two very special guests. They are convinced of the friends. And when I say quoties, I don't mean they are or they're not friends, because I don't know. The young men on the Triton boat that took Nolan Wells to Horn Island. Many argue he was on the boat on the return when foul play occurred. Many argue he was not. In fact, the timeline has blown up because there are reports that Nolan Wells was seen on the island after the friend's boat left, which would exonerate them. Is that true? I don't know. And I'm trying to find out.
Here we go.
For me, nobody's guilty and everybody's a suspect because we don't know the truth.
Let's go, Nancy.
But we will. Joining us tonight, Tyler Cox, the lawyer for several of the young men, with the law firm Taylor and Cox, him being the Cox. Also with us, another veteran trial lawyer, Edward Pulsick, attorney for the boys as well. Actually, they're not boys. They're adults in the eyes of the law due to their age. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. My first question to clear up this matter, have your clients taken polygraphs?
Mm,
First to you, Tyler Cox.
let's get to it.
Nancy, my clients have not taken a polygraph test.
Ah.
And I can tell you why. Because any lawyer worth their salt is going to tell their clients not to take a polygraph test under any circumstances.
Damn.
2 of my clients went in and made statements with me. We're not going to I'm not going to do a polygraph test because, one, as you know, they're not admissible in court. And so it wasn't going to be admissible anyway. You should never, ever, if you're a lawyer, allow your clients to take a polygraph test. Now, we allowed investigators from the jump to have access to their phones, their Life 360, everything. We have cooperated implicitly every step of the way. But no, they didn't take polygraphs tests. But what I'll tell you is one of the other boys, who I won't mention their name, but I'm sure that you've heard, took one. The girl that Nolan was with took a stress analysis voice test, and so did the other boy. So that's the test they took. Both of them passed. And so, again, no lawyer worth of salt is going to tell his clients to take a polygraph test or anything like that.
That's some good information, right? Shout out to the official YouTuber. 99 cents just didn't seem right for this show. Thank you so much. Shout out to the 200 people watching the show. Make sure we have 200 likes. Make sure we have at least 50 shares. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's how we build great productive energy. Good day to you, Corinne Mackey. So I don't think I can disagree with him as a defense lawyer. Why would you, because it could damage the case. Right? It's a possibility that you're so nervous that you just have an inconclusive, or it might seem like you're lying. It's so many things that could go wrong with you taking this kind of a test if you was a lawyer. So I understand why you wouldn't want your client to do it. And majority of lawyers do not want they goddamn client taking no tests. I get it, because they want to prove in the court, not by your goddamn sweat and how nervous you are. So make sure y'all do your job. Hit the screen, double tap the screen if you can. Hit that like button. We need more likes. We need more shares. I appreciate y'all. If you had 99 cents, hey, I appreciate that as well. Let's get back to the video.
I would like to corroborate part of what Tyler Cox just said. Any defense attorney, whether they're
How the hell can you take a grown man serious with Cox on his forehead? Can somebody please tell me how? Tell me. That is very true. The YouTuber said polygraphs means nothing in court. It means nothing in court. It's only a very rare instance when you can actually get a polygraph submitted in court, and it's a very rare situation. Shadow the Time Watch with the 3 ball. He said YouTube facts. I believe that's what white facts. One of the two. How can you take a lawyer serious with Cox on your forehead? Bro, take that damn hat off.
Truly convinced their client is innocent or guilty, they're not going to allow a poly. I've never seen that. I've had a couple of lawyers, maybe 3, in all the years I practiced, all the people I put behind bars, consent before trial to a poly. 3. And they were all criminal cases that carried severe penalties. So what he's saying is true. Even if you think your client is innocent, very rarely will you see a defense lawyer say, sure, take a poly.
Like, we gotta just agree with that. Like, that's just, as a lawyer, hey, I got it. Corinne Mackey with the 1 eye. I am digging for the cover picture. Thank you so much, Miss Corinne Mackey. Thank you so much. The official YouTuber says 100% a nervous, innocent person can fail a polygraph. Absolutely. That's why no lawyer worth his salt, like he said, will ever do something like that. We got over 200 in the building. Make sure we have over 200 likes. Do your job. Hit the like button. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. It just means you're here. That's all it means. Hey, I'm here. I watched 33 seconds of it. Hit the like button. Thank you so much.
However, I disagree with you regarding their admittance into court. Polygraphs are allowed in civil trials. O.J. Simpson, he flunked horribly. And if both sides stipulate to the polygraph's admittance before the polygraph is taken, it can come into a criminal trial. The reality is that never happens. That never happens.
Right. At the time that we first cooperated with police, the first very week, the days after, just 1 to 2 days after the disappearance of Nolan Wells, we're not thinking about a civil suit. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about how can we provide as much information to authorities so that they can find Nolan Wells. And it was not until after we spoke to officers and investigators that Nolan, unfortunately, his body was found on Horn Island, washed up. And it's unfortunate. And I hate that for Nolan because by all accounts, he was an incredible person. He was just truly remarkable in almost every sense of the word. But I mean, we're not thinking about a civil suit at that point in time. We're trying to help authorities find our friend who we can't find either.
Okay.
Edward Polczyk joining us in addition to Tyler Cox, both of them veteran trial lawyers. He is with Taylor Dykema.
Hey, Venus.
Edward, how did you get involved in this case?
Let's go.
Well, I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this.
What?
Edward,
Excuse me?
how did you
me?
get involved in this case?
Well, I'd rather not.
Involved in this
That's
case.
how. Hey, look. That's how you know when somebody's lying. You see him look up, and where you looking around to? Where you go? Where's your eyes going? I believe it's only you in that room. What are you looking for? The official word. A guilty, calm sociopath can also pass a polygraph. That is a very good point as well, right? A guilty, calm sociopath can also pass a polygraph. That is very true. Good day to you, Venus. 100%. 100%. So that's why a lot of people do not want to go. But hey, did you know it's the guy with the cocks on his head? I don't know how you could take any man with cocks on his head serious, but this man, he have cocks on his head. And when she asked him about how did you get it, you are high pro, because what the thing is that he's a very high profile case. Actually, his last case was very high profile. He is the same lawyer that represented Mr. McCain in the Tanzanian fiance fiasco with Janae. The young lady, he's a white man. She's a black young lady. Her name is Janae. His name is something McCain. And they went to Tanzania. Is a goddamn beautiful white tiger walking past while he was on bended knee giving her a ring. 2 days later or 1 day later, that young lady is unalived. Is unalived. I believe it's still an ongoing case. So this guy with Carl Cox on his forehead is the same lawyer that represents that man in that unaliving case. So this is not no slouch lawyer. How did you go from that to this case? Who called you, sir? Because also I heard that he also represented Trump in some situation as well. That part for me is not clear. I don't got the information. If you got it, please drop it in the chat. We got 300 people in the chat. Make sure we have 300 likes. So that is a very interesting situation. Why did you look up and to the left? Who gave that phone call? Who gave that phone call for you to go down to Mississippi? That's what I want to know, goddammit.
Nice.
Well, I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this. I can tell.
Do it again.
I'd
What?
rather not talk about that. I can just tell
you
you.
see that? You see how he looked? Look at his eyes.
I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this. Well,
Right up and to the left.
I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this.
You see that? You see those eyes?
I'd rather not
And those
talk
beaver
about
teeth?
that. I can just tell you this.
See that?
I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this.
Hey, listen, I ain't no goddamn body language expert or nothing like that. I'm not. I ain't no body language expert or anything close to that. But I do know when I see a suspicious person, when I see one. I know when I see him. Any man with Carl Cox on his forehead and 2 beaver teeth, and they looking up to the left and the right and looking all around the room, when all she asked you is, how did you get involved in the case? A simple, I got a phone call from a friend would have sufficed, but no. Because the human body do not like to lie. It's just, it doesn't, the human body, even him as a lawyer, I'm not saying that he is lying. What I'm saying, 250 people and we only got 20. Hey, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City, you know, those bucktooth teeth, Carl Cox on your forehead. You look into the left and the right, up and down. I don't like it. It looks very, I ain't no body language expert. However, he looked uncomfortable answering that question. Hit the goddamn like button. It's your requirement.
How did you get involved in this case?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this. I can tell you that it was through a friend of a friend.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding me. Because when you tell me I'd rather not answer.
Well, I want to
that's
protect
just
the names that
igniting me to find out how
Well,
you
hold
got
on.
involved in the
Well,
case.
Well, hold on. I can tell you a little bit more. I can tell you this.
Yeah,
I can
you
tell
better.
you a close friend who knows the Ocean Springs, Mississippi community very, very well, is from the area, connected me to a friend of his. And then I found myself speaking to Tyler here. And Tyler and I instantly became very close friends. We both have blue pickup trucks, so now we're the Blues Brothers. We just became very close. We hit it off. Then I had the opportunity.
Boy, if you don't sit now, all of a sudden you also buddy and pals with everybody. You goddamn those fine young men that you kept saying that you kept repeating. These fine young men, those are your buddies and pals. Now this goddamn lawyer Tyler, because y'all got blue pickup trucks. Now y'all goddamn Blues Brothers. Boy, what are you talking about? Saying a whole bunch of nothing, just like you did on the other interview. Don't got nothing to do with anything. This that liar language. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's just how he talks. It's just something about those 2 chiclet teeth make me think of somebody that's just untrustworthy. Whether he is or not, I'm not 100% sure. But I know one thing for sure. I know a goddamn selfie when I see
Speak to Warren, speak to Morgan, speak to Jax, and we hit it off also. And I immediately realized these are incredibly fine young men.
See?
I realized
Okay,
right
hold
away.
on.
I wanted to help them out.
Ed, to you and Tyler, I'm not saying they have lied, and I'm not saying they haven't lied.
Right.
I don't know. I have no reason to disbelieve your clients or to believe them.
Right.
But you do know that people can look you right in the face and lie through your teeth, and you believe them. I've done it. I've had witnesses that I found out were lying to me, and it was a huge blow. I've had police officers. I worked a child trafficking case. My first child trafficking case. Worked it. I finally found the little girl. I went into a room full of sex workers. They went, she's in there. I'm like, there's no child in there. They went, she's the one in the white boots. She looked like she was 38 years old. She's 14.
Wow.
That said, we won the case.
Okay.
But fast forward about 10 months later, I was walking through the grand jury room and I saw these horrible federal court sketches. I'm like, oh my stars. Is that who I think it is? It was my vice cops. They had been stealing from dopers and they got indicted by the feds. And I had been out on the street with them every day for months trying to prove a child trafficking case. So just because somebody tells you the sky is blue does not mean the sky is blue. You do know that, right?
Great point, Nancy.
Well, I can tell you this: they were off Horn Island at 4:30 p.m. on July 4th. And Nolan Wells was seen alive.
Now we're getting somewhere. How can you prove that to me other than them telling you? I assume you've got GPS tracking and the call to CT.
We have witnesses among other things, but I can also tell you this: they were off the island at 4:30 p.m. and Nolan Wells was seen alive by multiple people at 6 p.m. still on the island. And I'm sure Tyler would be happy to elaborate on that. But this is a no doubt 100%.
Please tell me, Tyler, because I don't believe any of these people and I don't disbelieve any of these people.
That is such a great point, Nancy, to keep driving that part home, right? Is that I don't believe any of these people. I also don't disbelieve any of those people. Show me the evidence of what you are communicating to me. Show me your alibi. Explain to me why you wasn't there. Give me some witnesses that say that you wasn't there. Did you have time to collaborate with those witnesses that saying that you are not there? Are you friends with the people that are saying that you are not there? What is your relationship with the person that is saying that you wasn't there? How far away were they from? Were they drunk? Were they on drugs? How much of partying were they doing? How did they know what time you was there and what time you wasn't there? How do they know what time it was when the last time they seen you? Those right? We just trying to get down to some brass tacks things. Shout out to Nancy for that. That is beautiful. I love that we're just attempting to get down to the truth. No narrative painting, just straight up. What is the fact of how you were there or were not there? Salute to that. Let's keep it moving.
I want to hear about witnesses that spotted him alive after 4:30 because I believe I can confirm the boat left around 4:30. And I'm referring to the Triton. That's the boat they were on. There are a lot of boats. Let's see the video of all the boats out there.
Natasha.
So when I say Triton, I'm talking about the boat Nolan was on the way to the island. There's a lot of boats out there and a lot of witnesses too. This is from the Officer Tatum. Okay. There are witnesses placing him there at 6. And I want to be very clear, gentlemen, that I'm not convinced he drowned just because somebody said so. Even if he did drown, that does not mean that there wasn't foul play. Why is that mark on the back of his head? Was he hit on the head and fell in the water? Was he held under the water? Was it an accident? I don't know.
Good questions.
But I am very interested in witnesses that place him alive at 6 p.m. Please tell me, Tyler Cox.
So, Nancy, look, we have had multiple witnesses reach out to us, 2 confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island around 6 p.m. on July 4th. After the Triton, as you said, left around 4:30. And so those witnesses have went to investigators. They've talked to the police. And they've done what they're supposed to do. We've cooperated 100%. So has
Where did they see him, Tyler Cox?
There we go.
Where did the witnesses see them? Do they know him well enough to make a positive ID? Hey, speaking of a positive ID, control room, please pull up a photo that we showed a couple of days ago. There are 2 or 3 women, white females, walking along the beach, as I recall, each clad in a bikini. There is one, I believe, a white male and one black male walking with them.
Let's go.
Can you
blow it up? We can't see it
a little bit. That's not really helping me that much.
Come on, thank you.
For instance, did your witnesses know Nolan? Can they identify him? Because I'm looking right at this and I cannot identify if the male behind the female on the female wearing a white hat. I can't tell if that's Nolan or not. It's a very blurry photo. I can't make it out. So, do your witnesses know him? I mean, let me see my guess, please. Mr. Polsick, Mr. Cox, I know the two of you. I don't see both of them. There they are. The two of you have tried a lot of cases, as have I.
Okay, talk to
To
him.
get in or attack an eyewitness,
What you got to do?
and it's in the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated.
Where is it?
The official code of Mississippi annotated.
Where is it?
In the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated.
I didn't hear
in
you.
the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated.
One more time.
In the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated. There are prescribed methods under which you cross-examine an eyewitness. For instance, does the witness know the target? Was the lighting sufficient? How far away was the witness? What were the conditions of the eyewitness identification? Was the eyewitness inebriated or high or otherwise incapacitated? How far away were they? Do they wear glasses? It goes on and on and on. It's laid out in the code.
It's laid out.
Tell me about these witnesses. How do they know it was Nolan?
Tell us, sir.
Control room, show me that picture of Nolan on the boat. He's bent over. All I can see are his legs and his behind.
Damn.
The only reason I think that's Nolan is because it matches his swimsuit. Did they see that? How can they identify Nolan? First to you, Tyler.
Ooh, come on, Tyler.
Well, I'm not sure if the witnesses saw that picture that you just put on screen, but I can confirm to you that these witnesses.
Hold on. I just realized. Hey, you know how this is why those young men are not there right now. This is why those young men are not right now. Can you see this bottle back here? Can you see this bottle back here? It's called Verdict. It's some kind of brandy or whiskey. It's called Verdict. That's what it's called, Verdict. And what's significant about that bottle being in the background called Verdict, that is a sponsor for Brandon Tatum. That is product placement. That is sponsorship. That is sketchy as hell, in my opinion. Shout out to PZ Angon with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all be just like PZ Angon. Hit the support button. You can hit the super sticker. You can hit the super chat. You can hit the like button. You can hit the share button. It's plenty of ways for you to hit the support button. Thank you so much for being here. If you're here, for more than 3 seconds, please hit the like button. It's much appreciated. It's only going to bring you joy in your life. This man got a goddamn Verdict bottle right there, product placement for a reason. Brandon Tatum, he is sponsored by Verdict. You think that and now all of a sudden we trying to figure out how did this high lawyer that is such a big lawyer is being that they could afford this lawyer that just did it, like how what this that got me oh my god, I can't even talk. My gasket is flabbered. I can't believe what I'm seeing. No wonder why those good Ocean Springs citizens can afford these lawyers. Because they got sponsors, not just Give, Send, Go, $200,000 Give, Send, Goes. No, they got sponsors. Makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. That's crazy.
No, Nolan. They've known him for a long time. They were able to make a positive ID. And they told that to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
Had they been drinking?
Ooh, good question.
That I do not know.
Wow.
How are they sure it was 6 o'clock? Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking the questions I would ask in court. How do they know it was 6 o'clock? Did they go, oh, there's Nolan Wells at 6 p.m.?
Well, I'm pretty sure, Nancy, they were aware of the time.
How?
I'm not sure if they were drinking or not.
These are your
but
witnesses.
They're the ones that came forward to.
Hold on. These are your witnesses. Why are you stuttering? You
How
lawyer,
are they
son.
sure it was 6 o'clock?
How were
Look,
they sure?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking the questions I would ask in court. How do they know it was 6 o'clock? Did they go, oh, there's Nolan Wells at 6 p.m.?
And see, this is the reason why, I mean, it was smart. I give them that. It was smart for them not to bring those young men to interview with Nancy Grace. Is a reason why it is okay for them to have a conversation with Officer Tatum. They don't want those young men to be around this shark. This lady is a shark. It's a shark in the water. It's a shark in the water. Because she's asking the right questions. Shout out to her. Getting down to some. Whew.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Nancy, they were aware of the time. I'm not sure if they were drinking or not. But they're the ones that came forward to police and investigators. And that's their story to tell. What I'm telling you is they made a positive ID on Nolan Wells around 6 o'clock, and they told that to investigators, all while our clients were off the island around 4:30. So we have positive identification on Nolan on the island an hour and a half after our clients left. So as you know from your experience as a prosecutor,
right,
they can't do two things at once. They can't be on the island at 6 o'clock and be on the boat going off the island at 4:30.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
That's where we are. Our clients have nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells. We don't know how he died. We want to know. Please tell us. Somebody. We want to know just as much as anyone else. Our clients loved Nolan Wells. They were brothers to Nolan Wells. I've still yet to hear one bad thing about Nolan Wells. He was a good Ocean Springs kid. Just as Chuck Bordeaux says all the time in the courtroom, these are good Ocean Springs people. So Nolan was a good Ocean Springs person too. They love Nolan. We want to know. Will someone please
just stop right there,
tell us?
Tyler?
Please stop him right there.
Tyler, I've got 1 hour, and nobody's running for miscongeniality. Let's just let it be noted, judicial note.
Oh shit! Like, yes, miss me with the bullshit that these are some good kids. This don't have nothing to do with anybody being bad or good. All right, miss me with that shit. Shout out to Nancy. That was hilarious.
Stop right there, Tyler. Tyler, I've got 1 hour, and nobody's running for miscongeniality. Let's just let it be noted, judicial notice. They were all good. Everybody's good. Okay.
All right.
Tyler.
Even he had to smile at that.
The witnesses that came forward. Here's something that would tend to corroborate them is if multiple witnesses said the same thing. Witnesses separated in time and space, witnesses that are not all friends, witnesses that are not good friends with your clients, that may have a reason to be fuzzy on the time.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying they are or that they're not. Here's my question to you.
Okay, let's go.
Are these witnesses friends of your clients?
Woo!
I don't think they're friends, and they're not even the same age.
Okay. Next question. How many witnesses place him there on the island at 6-ish?
Ooh. How many?
At least 2 that I know.
2. Okay.
2. Do the witnesses know each other?
Ooh.
Yes.
Were they together that day?
Yes.
Ooh.
Have they had a chance to discuss their recollections with each other before they came to police?
Woo! What y'all think he gonna say? What you think he gonna say? Oh my goodness. Smoke. That's how we supposed to get down to it. What's your answer, sir?
Well, I'm sure they did. Nancy, look, they did what they were supposed to do, and they spoke to police officers. And you know as well as I do that if investigators or a DA's office had any sort of probable cause to make an arrest in a case like this, they would. They would have.
Or they may be gathering evidence to make sure they've got all the evidence that there is. I mean, I would wait until I had all the evidence, including a completed autopsy. You know what? I'm going to jump ahead.
Okay.
But regarding the body, Nolan's body, we've heard all sorts of inflammatory things.
Absolutely, we did.
The one thing that, well,
What up,
many
Otis?
things are very interesting and probative. For instance, why was Nolan's neck of so much interest to the original medical examiner that it was removed? His foot wasn't removed. His toe wasn't removed. His ear wasn't removed. Why his neck? The lungs and the neck were removed, which obviously Edward Pulsick touches on COD, cause of death. I understand why the medical examiner took his lungs. He had to run tests on them to determine, did he drown? Of course, all three of us know you can drown and there still be foul play. Somebody whacked you on the head. If somebody held you underwater, it could be any number of things, or it could be an innocent drowning. But why the throat?
Please tell us why the throat. It could be so many reasons that it could have been an accident. We just seen it was a recent case in Florida when a man, two friends, probably some friends that said they love them, they love each other. One of the friends knocked him on the back of the head, that pushed him in the water, and then that man, he drowned. But what is the cause of that drowning? His friend punched him in the back of the goddamn head is the reason why he died in the first place, because he fell in the water and then he drowned. And that man is being charged with N1 right now. That's because of video footage is the only reason. So we understand that he could have possibly drowned, but why? Please explain to us why.
What was curious about the throat, Ed? Were there marks on the throat? Was there a ligature mark? Was there manual strangulation? Was there a compression? Were there bruises? Were there scratches? I don't know. Was a hyoid missing? I could go on, but I won't. Do either of you know what was of interest to the medical examiner in the removal of Nolan's throat?
I'll tell you this. Listen, we're not coroners. We're not medical examiners. We want to know what happened to him just as much as everyone else. Quite frankly, more. Because Nolan was their best friend. Warren, Morgan, Jax. Nolan was their best friend. We want to know what happened. We haven't examined Nolan's body. We're not scientists.
I just thought maybe you had been somehow told why they took his throat. Okay, that's a note. We don't know why they took his throat.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate.
Let me start with an open-ended question to you, gentlemen. I started with, why haven't they taken a polygraph? I want to hear what your clients are saying happened that day, because my interest is piqued because you stated a young lady, and I assume this is Katie, the mysterious Katie, who turns out not to be that mysterious at all. Much was made of that. Now, one thing about Katie, originally, one or some of your clients said he was with some girl, we don't know her. Then it turned out they had been texting with her, so they did know her. There may be an innocent explanation for that or not. So explain to me, who were they talking about when they said he was with a girl, we don't know her? He had never met her before, but yet they were texting with Katie, the girl he had been with. I'll throw that to you, Tyler. Do you know the answer to that?
Sure. So they didn't know Katie, and they believe that Nolan didn't know Katie before that day. But you have to remember, once they started getting
with, I'll throw that to you, Tyler. Do you know the answer to that?
Sure. So they didn't know Katie, and they believe that Nolan didn't know Katie before that day. But you have to remember, once they started getting suspicious that Nolan wasn't with them anymore, they start asking themselves, okay, well, where's Nolan? They start texting everyone that they knew. Hey, have you seen Nolan? Do you know where Nolan is? Did he make it back home? All before they called Christine Wells that night, they start asking everybody. And so eventually they end up getting, through mutual friends, whoever, Katie's number. And so I believe it was maybe either Snapchat or text message. They got in communication with Katie. And Katie says, I don't know. We thought he was leaving with y'all. Well, I don't believe that's the case, obviously, because he did not leave with our boys. We don't know what happened to him, but that's Katie's statement. That's how they got a hold of Katie's numbers, because they're frantically trying to find out what happened to Nolan.
What's your take on it, Ed? Because I think he's saying they did know Katie. I couldn't tell if he said did or didn't. Did he say they all did know Katie?
No, they did not.
They didn't know Katie.
So
All right. And they
Did not.
determined
Thank you
who
for-
she was.
Thank you for getting that clarification, because I'm like, damn, maybe I'm just too black because I didn't understand did or didn't. Thank you so much, Nancy, for getting that clarity. I thought it was just my black ass that didn't understand if he said did or didn't. Enunciate your words, sir. So Nolan did not know this young lady, and the boys didn't know this young lady. Let's get the likes up. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Come on, y'all. We could do better. We need 300 likes. We could get there real quick. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Ooh.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, hold on. Tyler, you
Okay, we
stated
hold this.
they, your clients, began to get suspicious, whereas Nolan. When did they get suspicious?
What time?
It was later that night. I believe it was around 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe even 11, that they start saying, oh, well, has anyone seen Nolan? Where's Nolan? Did he make it back home? Did he?
So you don't know? You are the lawyer. I thought you was going to give us evidence. I thought you was going to give us evidence. Come on.
Anybody know? They start calling around, texting, asking everybody. And once they determined that no one had the answer about where Nolan was, that's when they called Christine Wells. And then they stay on the phone. My client stayed on the phone with Christine Wells for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then he tells her, look, I'm going to call the Coast Guard just to make sure. And he did. He stays on the phone with the Coast Guard for 21 minutes.
Hold on. Let me just say something in the chat. Excuse me, XC. The lawyers just said the boys did not know Katie. So this is what these young men lawyers are saying. I don't know if the lawyers are uninformed or what, but just now with what words were being used, the lawyers just said the young men did not know Katie. They know who she is because of that day, July 4th. They did not know Katie according to those young men lawyers. This is not us saying it. This is the lawyers are saying this thing. So if you think the lawyers got it wrong, you're going to have to take that up with the lawyers. But we are just going by what is being said. And what was said, those young men did not know Katie prior to that day. So if that's what the lawyer said, you're going to have to argue with the lawyer for lying on his clients or lying about his clients. I don't understand. So it ain't us saying it. It is the lawyer saying it. So argue with the lawyer.
Okay. Ed Pulsick, also veteran trial lawyer. Ed, do you concur with that explanation of why they first said, I don't know her, we don't know her, he didn't know her, and then we find out that they had actually been texting with Katie? What's your understanding of that?
Ooh.
Again, I had my favorite trial judge, Luther.
That's right, Nancy. What is this contradiction? Because y'all just said it. You just said they didn't, and now they was texting. Great job, Nancy. What is this contradiction?
Alverson would tell every jury, it is your duty to make all witnesses speak the truth. What does that mean? To reconcile the different seemingly conflicting stories, to make
That's a
everyone
great
be
question,
telling the
XC.
truth and impugn perjury on no one. So maybe there's an explanation for this. Why do they say we don't know her and then they're texting her? So they did know her.
That characterization. They didn't say that. There's no contradiction. I can just tell you this.
Say what?
They didn't say that. There's no contradiction. I can just tell you this. They didn't know her. Nolan was with her much of the day. And he was still on the island when they left.
So no, but you're not addressing, sir. Why you acting as if you don't understand how, if they did not know her, how XC just asked you the question too? Because XC want to understand too. If they did not know her, how did they text? If they didn't know, what is this? Anonymous texting? It's like blind date, blind texting? How, if you don't know this person, how did you text? And please explain to us. You saying they don't know this young lady, then how? XC want to know. XC is in the chat right now, and XC wants to know, how did they text the young lady if they didn't know her?
He apparently spent much of the day with this young lady. That seems to be what happened. But no, there was this young lady was not part of their friend group. That's right.
Okay, so when they say they didn't know her, but yet they were texting her, they did know her name.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that characterization.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Conversations with MJ. They didn't know her, but they have messages throughout the day contacting her. Come on, Mr. Lawyer Man, make up your mind. Which one is it? What characterization are you talking about, sir? Please be very clear when you speak. Ask him again, Nancy.
Didn't know her, but yet they were texting her, they did know her name.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that characterization. Yeah, the
well,
premise.
enlighten me. I want to know.
What premise?
The premise is flawed. She's not part of their friend group. They don't know her. I can tell you that
being part of the friend group and not knowing her, like ain't nobody playing with you, sir. Nobody's asking you if they are a part of the friend group. We asking you, did they know her well enough to have her number and to be texting back and forth throughout the day? We're not asking if they was besties. Did they go and get ice cream? Did they go for long walks in the park after dark? No. We're asking, did they know her where, hey, I know what school you go to. I know I know you hang out with Shirley. I know you hang out with Janice over there. What? This is crazy. With cocks on your damn forehead.
it does appear, once again, it appears that Nolan was with this young lady for much of the day. That does seem to be confirmed by many witnesses. And I can tell you this, Nancy, one thing about this island, I did have the opportunity to go to Horn Island. And when you go to the island, everything starts to make sense. The first picture was maybe not so accurate. If you go to the part of Horn Island where, you know, these events all occurred, you see that there are really no trees on that part of the island. It's flat, it's open, There are no visual obstructions, so there's no trees, there's no shelter, there's no nothing, and it was broad daylight with thousands of people there, meaning there was no opportunity for foul play during.
See, now that is the premise that I reject. That is the premise that I reject. You are attempting to paint a picture of an argument that nobody is saying. You cannot shoot the goddamn barn and then paint a bullseye around the hole and talk about I hit it. I hit the bullseye, sir. Nobody is saying where, how the man passed away. We don't know if it happened on the edge of the island where it's wide open. We don't know if it happened back at the house with Katie, in a tree, in a bedroom. We don't know where it happened at. We know something happened to the back of his head. That's what we know. We know something happened to the back of his head. Nobody's saying that it happened in that one section of the island. You are making a premise that nobody's made. Nobody is saying that he got deleted. He got unalived at that corner of Horn Island where everybody can see everybody and 1,000 people witnesses. Nobody is making that premise whatsoever. Only you. Everybody, make sure you hit. We need 300 likes. We need at least 100 shares, and we need more super chats, more cash apps. Thank you so much to Conversation with MJ. So thousands of people was on the flat island with no trees, no covering. And you mean to tell me you only have 2 witnesses that saw him at 6 p.m.? Can you please make that make sense, Mr. Cox on my head? So thousands of people was on the flat island with no trees, no covering, and you mean to tell me you only have 2 witnesses that saw him at 6 p.m.? Answer that question, Mr. Cox on my head. Man, hit the damn like button.
Daylight hours. And that's where this whole thing starts to unravel.
Ed,
you have to go to the island.
Please.
You have to go to
There's
the island.
opportunity for foul play. He could have been walked
Not
on
in
the
this
head on a
environment.
boat
Not
and
in-
pushed over.
I'm telling you, not in this
It doesn't have to
environment.
be
I
on the
was there.
beach.
Thank
It
you.
could be
I'm telling you.
anywhere.
Thank you.
You got to
Anywhere.
understand, it's a 10-mile long barrier island, but it's only a few hundred yards wide in most places. There's nowhere to hide.
Let me see the video and show it to Ed and Tyler. The video of all those boats. Anything could have happened between those boats. Anything.
Well, but
Even
but
an
Nancy,
accident could happen between those boats. And so
Nancy,
many people are drunk. I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We could always say anything is possible. An asteroid could strike right now.
Wow.
But I am telling you that there are a lot of people who have talked about this case and have said things that are not true, and they haven't been to the island. They've got to go to the island. If you don't go to the island, you can't speak with authority about the case. And I won't name names, but a lot of people who have hurt these fine young men and have defamed them, they've never visited the island. And I'm willing to bet that they've never visited the islands. Look at
Defamed them. What? Shout out to Time Wasp. Scopolamine Katie. Whoa. Gotta be careful on the things that you sucking on. Shout out to the state of being. Scopolamine Katie is wild. That's a wild statement, sir. That was the words of a super chat, not Sharon Bracey.
it right there. That shot you have right there. Broad daylight with thousands of people there. The picture speaks for itself.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree that
Right.
it would be nearly impossible for foul play to take place on that beach. Again, I direct your attention to the gathering of boats with the boats closely together. Everybody's drinking. Nobody's paying attention. Like I can't tell what's going on between the boats at a distance. I don't know. I don't know what's happening in the water. I don't know.
I can tell you
said,
this.
I agree. I don't think anything happened out in the plain view on the beach.
Right.
But there are other
Ed,
alternatives.
I want to add, though, we have a difference of opinion. When I see that video of the boats in the water there, that also is not a good place to get away with murder. Now, we have been very careful. We have refrained from speculation. We have refrained from guessing, and we're going to continue to do that. However, plain view of that scene, the beach, the boats, the water, that is not a secretive environment. It just isn't.
I agree the beach is not secretive, and I also agree the whole island is not secretive because there's really nowhere to hide there anyway. Guys, let me move to the boat, the Triton.
Okay.
Has the boat been searched by authorities?
Oh, good question.
I do not believe that it has been searched by authorities, but it's been available to authorities this entire time. If authorities wanted to come see it, they're more than able to, and have been.
Okay, I find that very interesting, Tyler, and I'll tell you why.
Why? Talk to me,
In
girl.
so many cases that I've prosecuted and covered and investigated,
Okay.
you see
What happened? Tell me.
defendants, targets, trying to
what they
get
do?
rid of evidence. You see them cleaning the boat. You see them washing it down. You see them trying all sorts of methods to get rid of evidence.
Okay.
It's interesting to me and somewhat probative that your clients have offered the boat up to law enforcement to come and search it. I'm curious, has the boat not just been searched with the naked eye? Has luminol been used on the boat?
Oh, good question.
Has alternative light sources been used on the boat?
Good question.
Has a cadaver dog come to the boat?
Damn.
Has a scent dog come to the boat? To your knowledge.
Good question.
Either one of you.
To my knowledge, Nancy, I do not believe that has happened. But again, my 3 clients, either one of them, none of them own that boat.
So, and the reason why she's asking this question, because it shows the lack of police work. Why have nobody? Come on, man. Come on. Like this high profile lawyers there out the blue. Somebody that is, he got a phone call from somebody that is very well known. Oh, just say the governor called you. Just say the governor called you. So we can say, oh, okay. Well, you know what? You don't have to say the governor called you. Just tell us what profession this friend that you have in Mississippi, what friend was it? Just tell us his profession. Is the person that called you this friend, was it another lawyer? Was it a politician? Was it a police chief? Because I believe the police chief or the governor. What's the name of the governor of Mississippi? Do anybody know the governor name of Mississippi? Put the governor name of Mississippi in the chat.
So if it has, you would have to ask the owners.
Tyler, do I look like I just fell off the turnip truck? Maybe I do, because we did sell turnips at the farmer's market when I was growing up. That said, you telling me my clients don't own the boat, so you'd have to ask the owner. Come on. You and Paulsick know if the boat has been searched. You know if cadaver dogs or scent dogs, luminol or alternative light has been used on the boat. Can you just tell me? Yes, no. It's not your client's fault. It's law enforcement's fault if they haven't done it.
Right. Straight up.
If authorities thought that there was something to find on that boat, don't you think this far out they would have already done it?
I would think in the ordinary course of an investigation into potential foul play, I would have gone out there and done it. Just
if you believe there was potential foul play.
Just to say I searched it and it was clean. I didn't find any blood.
Well, Nancy, you're asking a valid.
Thank you, Wanda.
Hold on, you're asking a valid question. You're just asking the wrong people. That's a question for law enforcement.
To your knowledge, has it been searched? Have you been told by anyone that it was searched?
Thank you. Next level.
I don't have
I have
any
not been told
involvement
that,
with the
no.
law enforcement. I don't have any involvement in the investigation.
I'm
We're
going to take
conducting
that
our
as
own
a no.
investigation. You can take it how you want. We're conducting our own investigation.
I'm gonna take that as a no. What you mean take it as a one? Come on now. Come on, you can't be dodging questions like that. Like, goddamn. She
Attention,
cooking up.
home.
She cooking up. Hold on.
With us, Edward Pulsick, attorney for the boys as well. Tell me what you can about the CETO call. I've had renowned experts say this wasn't doctored. I've had renowned experts say this was totally doctored. Have you heard the original CETO call from Mississippi Department Marine Resources? Have either of you listened to that call? Because I've heard it so many times, I'm now jaded based on what people think they're hearing, based on enhancements. I even had my own producer, who does not have a dog in this fight, no skin in the game, enhance it. But I want to hear what you guys know about the CETO call. My mind is open.
Look, anybody can adjust the gain. Anybody can enhance it or sweeten it. But it doesn't change the fact that just because you put words over some audio means that those words are now attributable to what is on the call.
Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. Okay. Conversation with MJ. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. All these witnesses that we can confirm are witnesses. And a month later, the boat having been searched. Come on, bro. That's just wild. That's just wild. Come on. Hey, Ocean Springs, Jackson County, y'all need to do better. You have to do better. And y'all got to do better with the likes. We need another 200 likes. I got to rewind that.
I'm now jaded based on what people think they're hearing, based on enhancements. I even had my own producer, who does not have a dog in this fight, no skin in the game, enhance it. But I want to hear what you guys know about the CETO call. My mind is open.
Look, anybody can adjust the gain. Anybody can enhance it or sweeten it. But it doesn't change the fact that just because you put words over some audio means that those words are now attributable to what is on the call.
Damn,
look,
that's crazy.
Another boy called CETO. We have video that was released of Brandon Tatum. He posted it, and it shows who all was on the boat. At no point in time does this CETO call ever, not once, where you find any sort of mention of Nolan being on the boat, of something happening to Nolan. I cannot state clearly enough, Nolan was not on the boat when it departed around 4:30. Look, the video that you're showing now, does anyone look like, and look, there's
They
the boy
moving?
that's on the CETO call right there. Does anyone look like there's a body on the boat or something had just happened? Look, Nancy, you were a prosecutor
No.
for a long time. None of these boys have a story that is untrue. Don't you think that after all this time, somebody would have snitched, that somebody wouldn't be able to keep their story straight? No. Look, these boys are
Typically,
telling
yes.
the truth.
Typically, you're absolutely right. That's why I usually don't believe in conspiracies, because nobody can keep their yap shut. Somebody blabs.
And Nancy, now I'll say something about the CETO call. I have heard a lot of versions of the CETO call, and most of them are either completely fake or AI or doctored. And unfortunately, for folks that are doing that, that may become the subject of one or more lawsuits. It appears that there
Not
are
threats.
hundreds of versions of the CTO call all over the internet, everywhere online.
Mm-hmm.
So now nobody can keep track of it.
Mm.
But I can tell you that. I can tell you, look at those photos. Nolan Wells is not on that
the
boat.
photos to me are very convincing. Let's see the photo they're talking about again.
Yes, I'm glad we agree about that. I'm glad we
do
agree.
I know what time that was? Or
By the way, again, for the people that think that this is a photo, this is a photo. It is not a video. Like, it's okay. It's all right. This is a photo. They just said it. Photo. The boy said it. We just reviewed the Tatum interview. They said it in that interview. He said, "Look at the picture. You cannot see." He said, "Look at the picture. You cannot see Nolan in the boat." And then just now, both of them, two lawyers, said photo. So we need y'all to stop trying to make this as it is a video. It is not a video. It is not a video. It is a photo. The people that give, they are saying it's a picture and it's a photo. If you never, like, I don't know where y'all are that y'all never seen one of those live action videos, but this is a photo. Jesus, stop saying this is a video. Conversations with MJ. Enhance does not mean edit or place words at all. It doesn't mean that at all. Then tell us, what was the conversation in the background about? When they turned up the game, like the lawyer said, and they could hear other conversations in the background because they turned the game up, what was the conversation in the background about? Simple and plain. Did they audio enhance it themselves? Come on. It's not a video. Please stop saying dumb stuff. Shadow the Time Watch, go back. It's actually a video. The boy on the left, SWI. Y'all can't be this slow. That is not. So you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me this guy doesn't move, this person doesn't move, this person doesn't move, and those other two people on the other side don't move, but everybody else, the 1-2 people and the 2 little waves that you see move, is enough to say that that's a video?
Nolan Wells is not on that boat.
The photos to me are very convincing.
See, the photos to me are very convincing. Look at this person. 1, 2, 3. They
Let's
are not
see the photo
moving.
they're talking about again.
Yes, I'm glad we agree about that. I'm glad we
do
agree.
I
Look at
know
these
what
people
time that
completely
was
still.
or
Dude,
what
bent
day that
over.
was? Is there a
Completely
timestamp?
still.
Look,
The
I'm
water
not saying
is not
either of
moving.
you are lying. I'm saying this is how.
Like, come on, man. Like, come on. There's no way that you could say it's a video. Y'all cannot be this naive that you see we know. Okay. Do you want me to pull up a picture and show you how I can make a picture move? Are we that dumb? Are we being that obtuse and stupid? I know we're not being that stupid. Like, we do understand what a live picture looks like, right? We do understand that it have live pictures in phones where you could just make it move just a quick second, but it's not a video. Come on. Use your brains.
I would test evidence in court. I mean, I take everything with a box of salt. When was that taken? Where was it taken? What time was it taken?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Is it timestamped?
And Nancy,
Well,
you've been trying this case for over 30 days. The facts are the facts are the facts.
Okay.
These boys had nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells.
Okay.
Okay,
Listen,
when was
we
the
don't-
timestamp on that video?
Nancy, I'm going to answer it this way.
Yes.
We don't think
Okay.
that you're accusing us of lying. We don't feel that way. We're just simply saying this. And it's okay. You're asking legitimate investigative questions.
Thank you.
And we don't fault you for that. But here's what we're saying. It's been over 30 days.
Okay.
There has never been one shred, one iota, one piece, nothing. There is no evidence that ties Warren, Morgan, or Jax to any crime because they did not commit a crime.
Okay.
They had
That
nothing
may very well
whatsoever
be
to
true.
do. Right.
And
there's
again,
nothing.
what's the timestamp on that video?
But that's not our burden. See, that's the problem. You're putting this burden on us. All right. There's never been one
No,
piece of
you
evidence.
did that to yourself, Paul, when
No,
you
we
said,
didn't.
here's the boat that day and he's not on it. That may very well be true. That may be
no,
absolutely
we
true.
Didn't, we
And
didn't
I'm
do that
saying,
to ourselves.
when was the video
What?
taken?
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Around
that we have
4:30,
multiple-
July 4th.
Yeah. And I'm telling you another thing, Nancy. We have multiple witnesses, and we're going to protect their names on the air here. We're not going to air out a
think you
private
should.
list of witnesses. We are. We're going to protect them. So I want to emphasize that as well. The witnesses that we're talking about, we're not going to do that to them. We're not going to name them here on the air. We're not doing that.
I'm not
So-
asking you to.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's
Well, it
asking
sounds
to
like
do
you
that.
are.
I'm asking you
But we're
again when the timestamp is on that video. But if you don't know, I'm not saying that that's wrong or right.
Well, I'm not.
I'm saying
No,
I want to know
understand that.
to
I understand that, but
corroborate
that's
that
not-
video.
I understand that, but that's not a relevant question for your present guest since we didn't make the video. But I can tell you this.
Okay. Well, you showed me
Where's-
the video, and that's why I'm asking. Okay. Let me
Well,
ask you
we didn't-
something else.
Yeah, we didn't
point.
show
You
you. We
state
didn't show
that
you
your
Yeah,
clients
go ahead.
know of witnesses, or you know of witnesses that placed
Yes.
Nolan at Horn Island alive at 6 p.m.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
All of this aside, all of the has the boat been searched? Where is Nolan's phone? Where are your clients' phone? All that is superseded by the fact that there may be witnesses placing him alive on the island at 6 p.m. And everything else disappears from me if that is true, because I know your clients were gone at 4:30-ish.
Yes.
Have these witnesses been questioned by law enforcement? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you another thing. One other thing. There's a corollary. Nancy, there's a corollary.
Okay.
So there are witnesses who
what?
can place Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. There are
Mhm.
also witnesses who can confirm that Warren, Morgan, and Jax left the island around 4:30. So both sides are covered. We've got it covered.
Well, for me, it's not that simple because I still don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. However,
Neither do we.
I believe that the GPS, which really cannot be controverted, shows when the Triton left, witness or no witness. I've got that. Now, who's on the boat? I believe that video is going to tell me who's on the boat. But all that, the overarching issue was he alive at 6 p.m.? This is where I'm going.
Right. And Nancy,
I don't
can I say
care
Nancy,
who
one thing.
was with him last. I don't
And-
care if it exonerates or convicts
course.
anybody. I just want to know the truth.
And it's good to ask,
Sir?
and I want to say this, it's good to ask tough questions. These are all valid questions. But
Sir, just answer the goddamn questions. We know they valid. Peasy ain't going. No evidence. No evidence. While not investigating is a given. They never even looked at the boat. No evidence while not investigated is a given. They never even looked at the boat. Come on. Man, I see why he's a lawyer, though. That man don't answer no questions at all. All he do is talk to a narrative.
What we're trying to do for you is simplify it. 4:30 and 6 p.m. End of story.
I want to believe you. I
Hit
want
the
to
likes,
believe
y'all.
you, Ed.
If
But
you
just because
forgot,
somebody says
please
so,
hit the like
don't
button
make
now.
it so. And I'm trying to prove it. That your clients were gone and that Nolan, more importantly, in my mind, was still alive. If that's true, your clients are in the clear. As
Yeah,
far
and-
as I'm
and Nancy-
They are in
concerned.
the clear.
And
I-
the CETO call and everything else falls away if I can place him alive at 6 p.m. And the people that want to hang your clients, I can't help their unrequited anger.
Yes.
I don't care because
Yes.
somebody in my mind was the last person to see Nolan Wells alive, whether it's your clients or somebody else. And I want to find that person that
Right.
saw him.
Yes.
You say 6 o'clock. Who are they? Make yourselves known. Put us all out of our misery. Help me find out what happened to Nolan.
Right.
Yes.
Again,
Nancy, can I
want
ask
you
you
to
this?
understand. I'm just
Why
trying
would-
to find out. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Why in the world would these witnesses make themselves public after you've seen more than 30 days of death threats, in-person threats, credible threats, people making threats and getting arrested, all geared towards these boys and others? Why would they become public? Why would they
here's
come
one
out
answer.
publicly?
One answer is they're telling the truth and they want to put it out there. Another
They told the
possibility
truth to
is
investigators.
everybody already knew who they were, so they went out on Tatum to exonerate themselves. I mean, that could go either way. But I see what you're saying. I get it.
And Nancy,
I still don't know.
Nancy,
Good point, Nancy.
have you ever
Yes.
seen any other people accused of the crimes that online internet trolls have accused these boys of go and do podcasts, do interviews, have their attorneys go and advocate for them like this on a national platform like this? If we
Shout out
weren't
to Front
100%
Lines with
sure
Jamin.
and they weren't 100% sure
And I
that
hope you like jamming
nothing
too.
they did
Thank you.
was in connection to Nolan Wells' death. They left the island at 4:30. He was spotted on the island after that at 6, alive and well. That's it. End of story. Do you think these are actions of 3 boys who, 1, keep their story straight, 2, don't snitch on each other, and 3, have made and had to have made to defend themselves multiple media appearances and have their attorney?
What you mean multiple media experience? They only went to one platform. That's not multiple. They went to one place. That's why they didn't want to come here. Y'all knew, good lawyers, y'all knew, hey, you don't want to mess with Nancy. You ain't going to talk to no Nancy. You can talk to Tatum, but you ain't talking to Nancy. Peasy ain't going. Why would they wait 30 days? Why would they wait 30 days? Come out immediately.
Do the same? Are those the actions of someone who is guilty? No.
Typically, no, I agree with you. But there are cases where killers go out in the front of it and make all sorts of pleas. Please bring my wife home. Please bring my little
But
babies
Nancy,
home.
we
So
didn't-
yes,
let
I
me give
have
you a
seen
really-
that. I know that's not what you want to
We
hear,
had
but yes, I have seen it.
Right. And Nancy,
Me neither.
let me give you a really
Great point. See, so you can't get that over with somebody like Nancy. So yes, she has seen all those type of things. She's seen people do all these type of things. Shout out to the 400 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button. If you never donated $1, please let this be the first day that you donate $1 bill. 99-cent super sticker is much appreciated. Shout out to everybody that never donated. that never hit the chat, if this is your first time ever being here, drop out the chat, say something in the chat, say good day, say something. Talk to me.
Important point here. And by the way, I appreciate some of the things you're saying. And let me just say this. This might be the most important thing. Look, we have a lot of humility. Warren, Morgan, and Jax have a lot of humility.
Okay.
One of the things that we knew when we were going to come on with you is we know you're going to ask us tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
We know you're going to ask us tough questions.
Okay.
And we're happy to answer them as best we can.
All
but
right.
one thing we've been very consistent about, there are so many things we don't know, right? We won't be able to answer all of your tough questions. And the reason we can't is because we just don't know the answer to a lot of them.
Okay.
But we do know what we know. We know they were off that island at 4:30. We know Nolan was on the island at 6. We just want to emphasize our humility in that regard because we just don't know, and we would love to know. We want to know how this tragedy happened as much as anyone, more than anyone.
I want both of you gentlemen to understand something. If I thought I had convicted the wrong person, I couldn't live with myself.
Sad.
I personally investigated every case I ever tried and put before a jury. I do not want the wrong person, an innocent person, to suffer claims and allegations, much less go to jail. But I do want the right person, if there is a right person.
Right. If there is.
Which leads me to, I want to believe you and I want to believe your clients.
Right.
But for me, everything is what can I prove? What can I prove? They say so what? Prove it to me.
That's it.
Let me ask you this. Do you know where Nolan's phone is?
Ooh.
Anybody? Can
Today?
anybody tell me where Nolan's phone is?
Good question.
Right now, as we sit
That
here
is a
today.
good question. You don't got
Has it ever been turned over to authorities?
No, it has not.
You're sure?
Yeah. I believe that Ben Crump, using local counsel, sent a letter out just last night, gave it to Don Lemon on his show, and Don Lemon on his show confirmed that they have not given the phone to investigators.
Okay.
Well, that's on investigators because they need to get the phone and they need to look at it.
How are they going to get it if they don't give it to them?
Warrant? Subpoena Dukas
Based
taken?
on
Grand
what?
jury subpoena Dukas taken?
Sure, but it hasn't been to the
No
grand
one's
jury
found?
yet. Hasn't been to the grand jury
There
yet.
is. Are you telling me you don't think a grand jury is convening on this?
I think they are. I don't think they have looked at
Well,
the
you
case
said, how do
yet.
you get the phone? You obviously get the
Right.
phone. Police go say, hey, can we look at the phone? And they go, sure, here it is. That's one way.
Well,
Or
right.
you're
But if they don't give it to
investigating a
them.
potential crime. You get a warrant and you go, hey, give me the phone. Here's the warrant. That's two ways. Or
Right.
you get a grand jury or a judge's order. There's all
Three,
sorts
four,
of ways to get that
4
phone.
ways.
Well, Nancy,
You could just
Nancy,
ask and they
why,
hand it over.
yeah, Nancy,
Why
why,
they
give it to
why
them?
has the, yeah, Nancy, why, yeah, why is that phone hasn't been turned over? Why?
Okay. Good
Why?
question
I
back.
Why
guess
would
it
the
hasn't
DA's
been
office
asked
need to
for,
get a
But
warrant?
I think it should be, and I think it should be asked for. Look,
Absolutely.
I am not stirring the Nolan Wills phone pot with you. I got bigger fish to fry with you two gentlemen. I'm just curious. I mean, wouldn't that put a lot to bed if we
It
could look
would.
at the phone and look at the GPS tracker on it, look at the route? I mean, look,
Yeah,
I know
we
where my
want more
twins are
evidence.
right now because they got Live 360. Yay.
Nancy,
Why can't we look at that? I mean,
Nancy, we want more evidence. Let's get it all. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. When you're telling the truth and you're representing 3 innocent young men, the beauty of it is you want more evidence.
We gave our phones up. We let them do a
Yeah.
phone dump of our phones.
which I find very, very interesting because a phone dump, everybody shows where the phone's been, what
Right.
time it was there. It's not
Right.
hard to do. It pings off phone cell towers and you can
Mhm.
tell as it progresses along. Not hard, easy.
Right.
And I find
Every-
that probative because it will tell me when the boys went to Horn Island, the young men, and when they returned. It's
Right.
better than an eyewitness to me. Tyler, What else?
Great point, Nancy. And I just want to say, hey, we got over 400 votes, but we don't have over 200 likes. Make that make sense. We have over 400 votes, but we do not have over 200 likes. Please hit the like button. It just says that you are here, and it lets everybody know that, hey, we are having a dope time. We're having a discussion, whether you agree or disagree. That's all good. Nobody's being timed out. We're having a conversation. We're watching. We're enjoying. Hey, we should not have more votes than likes. We have participation. Please participate in the chat. Participate in the likes. Please and thank you. It's not that difficult.
Else do you have to add?
Nancy, we have told you, we've told everyone we could, we've shouted it from the rooftops. The same story over and over again. There's no other way to say it. It's like banging our heads against the wall because nobody, at least in the online atmosphere, will listen to it. We've said the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
We can't say it any other different way. That's the truth. The truth is what it is.
Hi, guys. Nancy.
Shout out to that. Is it more? I'm not sure if it seems okay. It might be a little bit more.
The speculation, but again, all that aside, if I could speak to or hear from those witnesses placing Nolan alive at 6 after your clients had left the island, I feel that the investigation would take a different turn. In any event, we do not want to pile on any individuals suffering if they are in fact innocent. That's not what I want.
Right.
I want the truth, as I believe you do too.
Well, of course I do. I'll be happy to reach out to them and at least ask them. Best I can do.
Okay.
That said, gentlemen, I appreciate you coming on with us, and
man, salute to Nancy. She asked him some tough questions. She definitely did. That's 100%. She asked them some very tough questions. And, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, but we understand that he is a possibility that he drowned, but how did he drown is the question. We know just because you drown doesn't mean somebody didn't force you to do so. So yeah, he could have drowned, but that doesn't mean it was an accidental drowning, right? Right. And somebody walked into the wrong classroom. That's what we do know. Somebody walked into the wrong classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, we watched this conversation with Nancy Grace, you know, Officer Tatum, and these lawyers, and I realized something. Some people thought they were showing up for an interview. That's what they thought. Nancy Grace apparently thought everybody had been subpoenaed. She thought everybody had been subpoenaed. That's the first mistake. You cannot walk into a conversation with a former prosecutor carrying talking points. You know, like you going on a podcast with your homeboys, as we've seen. That's what Tatum was producing, a podcast with his homeboys. Nah, Nancy's sitting over there like, that's interesting. So when you said that, what exactly did you mean? Oh, that's a difference. That's a different conversation, because there are people who interview you, and then there are people who question you. Those are not the same thing. An interviewer hears the boys took polygraphs and says, interesting, tell me more. A prosecutor hears the boys took polygraphs? Polygraph? You sure about that word? Because prosecutors understand something regular people sometimes don't, right? Words matter, not vibes, not what you were trying to say. We don't care about what you was trying to say. Not what somebody told somebody who told somebody else. What actually happened? And that's where this conversation started getting a little uncomfortable, because Nancy Grace wasn't really debating them. She was doing what prosecutors are trained to do. Slow the story down and make every claim carry its own weight. Right, that's good?
Yeah, he's gonna call you between 1 and 3 from 2 to DC number. And I sent you.
And make every claim carry its own weight. And apparently, sorry, y'all. And apparently, make sure y'all hitting that like button. And let me get my thought back. And the story down, what I was saying. And every claim carry its own weight. And apparently, some of these claims have been skipping leg day. Let's start with the officer team, because this was fascinating. The claim being circulated was basically the boys took polygraph tests, right? Now, when the average person hears polygraph, we know what that means. Lie detector machine, hooked up. Questions asked, physical responses measured. Whether you believe polygraphs are reliable or not, everybody understands what somebody means when they say he took a polygraph. That's a specific claim. But Nancy starts pressing, and suddenly, well, it wasn't exactly a polygraph. It was apparently a stress test. Wait, hold on. Those are two different sentences. You can't tell me he took a polygraph and then somebody who actually knows what a polygraph is show up and suddenly we like, well, polygraph-ish. That's like telling me I graduated from Harvard, then I start asking questions and you say, well, I brought a Harvard sweatshirt. Brother, that is not the same accomplishment. You can't put on a sweatshirt and start asking people to call you professor. And this is why Nancy questioning mattered, right? Because she didn't necessarily have to prove some giant conspiracy. She only had to ask, was it a polygraph or wasn't it? That's it. And eventually, the terminology changed. Now that doesn't automatically tell us anything about anybody's guilt or innocence. Let's be very clear about that. But it does tell us something about the quality of the argument. Because if one of the pieces of evidence you presenting to the public is they passed a polygraph, and then we discover actually that wasn't the test they took, then I have questions, because you didn't give me a small detail. You gave me the name of the evidence wrong. That's important. This is why, This is why sometimes, lawyers can be irritating, because regular people communicate through meaning. Lawyers communicate through words. Regular persons, you know what I meant. Lawyer, actually, that's precisely what we're trying to determine. That's what happens. You ever argue with somebody who refuses to let you summarize? That's Nancy. You say basically, Nancy say no, not basically. Damn, ain't no basically. Can I get approximately? No, you cannot. No. Can I get a generally? No. Can I get a spiritual? Absolutely not. Because in legal matters, the difference between two words can be the difference between evidence and investigative tool. A rumor, a witness statement, and something somebody cousins heard at Applebee's. Those distinctions matter. And that's what I think people should pay attention to. Not I like Nancy, not I like Tatum, not I like these lawyers. Forget personalities. Watch what happens to a claim when somebody knowledgeable starts asking it. When they start asking questions. Because here's our bigger problem. The internet loves, version number one. Version number one is always incredible. They took polygraphs, post it, tweet it, make the thumbnail, everybody goes live. 3 million people hear version number one. Then 2 days later, correction. It wasn't technically a polygraph. That correction only gets 14 views. 3 of them are the person's family, you know what I'm saying? And that's how misinformation works now. The accusation takes an Uber and the correction walks barefoot. By the time the correction gets there, the accusations already got a podcast. And that's why when we covering something this serious, you have a responsibility to get the details right, because people are building entire theories from these details. One inaccurate brick, another inaccurate brick, another unverified witness, another misunderstood test, and pretty soon you built a whole house. And then somebody comes along and says, that brick isn't real. That brick isn't real. And everybody gets mad. Everybody gets mad. Why are you trying to destroy our house? I'm not. I'm telling you, Home Depot doesn't sell imaginary bricks. That's all I'm saying. And and this is when things get really interesting, because Nancy starts getting into the witness accounts, and again she's asking basic prosecutor questions. Were these witnesses properly vetted? Were the statements, did they make these statements in a collaboration? What are proper procedures followed? What exactly was done before these accounts were presented publicly? Those questions matter, because there's a huge difference between a witness said something and investigators established that the witness account is credible. Those are not interchangeable. But on social media, oh yes, they are. You know what I'm saying? Online, somebody saying something is evidence, somebody posts my cousin's girlfriend's barber was there. Internet breaking news. No. That's not how investigations works. A witness isn't automatically reliable because they exist. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, hit that share button. If you have 99 cents, I will appreciate it. People misremember. People exaggerate. People misunderstand. People hear things secondhand. People insert themselves into cases. Sometimes witnesses sincerely believe something happened differently than it actually happened. That's why you vet them. That's why. That's why. So when Nancy starts asking about procedure and when Nancy pushed the lawyers about whether the witnesses' accounts were properly vetted according to the relevant legal procedures, the conversation changed. Because once again, now we're leaving YouTube world and entering lawyer world. YouTube world, we have witnesses. Lawyer world, how were they vetted? YouTube world, they told us what happened. Lawyer world, that wasn't my question. You ever have a teacher catch you giving an answer to completely different question? Teacher, why didn't you do your homework? Kid, my grandmother really loves me. That's beautiful. Why didn't you do your homework? That's what good cross-examiner does. That's what actually happens, right? They don't just let you escape into a neighboring answer. And that's what this man with cocks on his forehead, he was attempting to do, but Nancy kept on checking his ass. Nancy kept on checking his ass. They bring you right back. They bring you right back where they properly vetted, right? Well, they were properly vetted, but were they properly vetted? Eventually, everybody starts looking like everybody started looking like they was Zoom had an emergency exit button. He wished that interview had a oops, my bad. Nah, you here with me. I got you for 1 hour and you all mine. That's what Nancy said. She said, I got you for an hour. You know what I'm saying? And her prosecutor brain, right, is powerful. And the power of that prosecutor brain. And this is what people underestimate, I think, about people that's like Nancy, right? You can dislike her, you can disagree with her, you can think she's too aggressive, you can think she's she sensationalized cases. Fine. But the woman spent years prosecuting cases. That trains your brain differently. A prosecutor isn't supposed to hear a story and ask, does it sound good? They're supposed to ask, can I establish this? That's completely different. And that's why she kept like grabbing little words: polygraph, witness, evidence, procedures, because each word carries a burden. If you say, I think, fine, that's your opinion. If you say, a source told me, okay, now I want to know the source. If you say a witness confirmed, whoa, now we moved up a level. If you say the evidence proves, stop. Now everybody needs to pull over because proof is expensive, right? You can't throw that word around like it's free. You just can't. Make sure, man, I'm cooking right now. Hey, look, I'm cooking right now. I'm doing my damn thing. Make sure you hit the like button. Because I'm cooking up right now. I ain't going to lie. You know I got to toot my own horn because for some strange reason, y'all don't want to hit because that's how you toot the horn. Like, damn, you all, brr, 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 brr. Brr, 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 brr. Yeah, that's right, Black Hawk. Because the reason why Black Hawk, because social media destroy the burden of proof. This whole thing to be exposed to something bigger. Social media has completely changed how people understand evidence. We don't investigate anymore. We assemble narratives. We pick conclusions first, then go shopping for facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like conspiracy Instacart. It's like conspiracy Instacart. I take 2 eyewitnesses, 1 suspicious photograph, 3 TikToks, and polygraph. Add that too. Add that too. And and then somebody says that wasn't actually a polygraph. Oh, can you remove that item out, please? Thank you. Fine. Fine, you can remove that item out. Well, we still got the witnesses. Were they vetted? Remove item. Remove that item too. Damn. If I made you laugh, I put a smile on your face today. Make sure you hit that like, share, and if you got 99 cents, I would really appreciate it as we get you through your goddamn day. Remove item, damn. What do we have left? You know what I'm saying? A thumbnail and 47 angry tweets. That's the danger. That's the real danger. If your theory requires every disputed claim to be like to remain unquestioned, you don't have a strong theory. You have Jenga. That's what you got. You got Jenga. That's what. And Nancy walked into that room pulling blocks out. Straight up. Polygraph, yoink. Witnesses, that yoink. Everybody's like, Nancy, stop touching the tower. And Nancy's like, I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing. Word? Okay, maybe I'll check that one out the next time. You know what I'm saying? And questioning the claims, not defending somebody. And this is another thing people have to understand. Questioning weak evidence is not the same thing as defending whoever's being accused, right? That's where internet discourse has become like insane. If somebody says this evidence doesn't establish that, people respond, why are you defending them? I'm not defending anybody. I'm defending the English language. That's all. Words have meanings. Evidence have standards. You don't get to lower the standard because you dislike somebody. Because here's the problem. If your standard becomes just then, because anything is good enough as long as it points towards the person I already suspect, then congratulations. Then congratulations. You invented Salem. That's what you invented just now. You just invented Salem. That's not justice. That's a goddamn Facebook group with pitchforks. That's what that is. Let me drink some water. And you know, and the stress test thing, that really mattered. You know what I'm saying? That really mattered. Let's go back to that test for a second, because somebody's going to say, let me see what we're looking at with these likes before we move forward. Let me see where we at with these likes, because y'all tripping. Let me see where we at with like we got over how many? Hold on. We got over 400 votes. We got over 400 votes, but we do not have 200 likes. Come on, y'all. How we got over 400 votes, but we don't got over 200 likes? How we don't have everybody sending 99 cents? Like, how is that possible? Like, how is that possible? Like, we got to get it together, man. That when somebody's doing they part, you have to do your part. Hit the like and the share. Like, when somebody's doing a part, you have to do your part. Like, it's really that simple. I gotta support the small I gotta support the small content creators too, goddamn. Not just the famous ones. I can't just support the famous ones. The famous ones, they get 100. This same video will get 100,000 people in the chat at one time. They get 100,000 people at one time. All I'm asking is for another couple of 100 likes, a couple of 99-cent super chats. If you never donated, this is the time to do so. Right? This is the time to do so. And I get it. People are going to say, Sharon, you're arguing semantics. I'm not. No. Sometimes semantics are the argument. If I tell you the doctor gave me an MRI, and then later say, actually, he took my temperature, you don't say same difference. No. Both are medical procedures. That doesn't make them interchangeable. A polygraph and a stress analysis test may both be used as investigative tools aimed at assessing responses, but they aren't automatically the same procedure. And even polygraphs themselves have significant limitations. They're generally treated very, very cautiously in court. So imagine how careful we should be before taking a different type of test, calling it a polygraph, and then presenting that publicly as though somebody passed a traditional detector. That's not a minor clarification. That's exactly the kind of distinction a prosecutor is going to attack. You know what I'm saying? And here's what I actually thought was most important part, right? It wasn't that Nancy yelled. It wasn't somebody getting embarrassed. It wasn't somebody losing an argument. It was the moment the claims became more precise. That's what we should want. If somebody says something inaccurate and another person questions them and they correct it, good. That's how information gets better. The problem is we live in a culture where correcting yourself is treated like losing. So, everybody doubles down on every goddamn thing. I said polygraph, sir. It wasn't a polygraph. Well, it was poly adjacent. What? It had graph energy. Stop it. Stop. Just say I misspoke. It was a stress test. That's okay. But once you correct it, everybody who repeated the original claim should correct it too, because otherwise the misinformation keeps traveling. Same thing with the witness, and the witness issue deserves exactly the same treatment. If the attorney acknowledged that the witness account weren't vetted in the way Nancy was describing under the under the applicable procedure, then that's important context. It does not necessarily mean, therefore, every witness is lying. That's another leap. Don't do that either. It means the reliability of those accounts haven't been established merely because somebody repeated them publicly. That's what we're saying. Thank you so much, Jay Villa. He said, I got you. Thumbs up. Shout out to Brother Nupsy. He put in his 99 cents. He put his dollar in. Make sure you be just like Brother Nupsy and put your dollar in too. How much you got on my 40? How much you got on my 40? No doubt, Brother Nupsy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I get it. And the reliability, the reliability claims remains like is undetermined, pending further, further, I don't know. It's all good. I understand. My mother didn't even click the goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking for like, shares, and 99 cents. My mama didn't even click it. It's okay. I get it. But somebody, I know one thing, somebody got humiliated. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to YouTube. Nancy was doing what everybody should have done. Here's why I think Nancy's questions was useful. She forced everybody back toward the fundamentals. I love that about it, right? She went backwards into the fundamentals. What do we know? How do we know it? Who said it? Right? Was that person vetted? What was the information? Did they collaborate? What test was actually administered? Who administered it? Brother Noopsy, for the future savings. What can that test actually establish, right? Those are the questions she was asking. Those are boring questions, but for me, I loved it. But boring questions solve cases. Exciting questions create content. There's a difference. And when we were and talking about real people and potentially serious criminal allegations. We need more boring questions. Everybody wants to be detective. Now, I get it. True crime has turned America into a 330 million detectives. That's what we got now in America. Everybody's a goddamn detective. Everybody got a badge from Amazon. People watch 12 minutes of YouTube. I reviewed the evidence. No, you have not. You watched a man named Crime Daddy 420 explain a screenshot. It's not discovery. That's not a discovery. Look at his body language. Oh, Lord. Here we go. I did it today too, right? He looked left before answering. I did it today. He looked left before answering. Maybe his cat was over there. I don't know. She touched her nose. Maybe her nose itched. That's something, we have turned normal human behavior into forensic scientists. You know what I'm saying? And that's why somebody with actual courtroom experience can completely change the conversation, because Nancy isn't asking, did he look suspicious? She's asking, hey, what is the factual basis of your statement? And suddenly everybody remembers, they left the oven on. Right? You know what I mean? Like, he was going all over the place. He was everywhere. She was turning every which way but loose. She turned him every way but loose. And this thing, what I'm learning is that you can't fall in love with your theory, right? And the biggest lesson here isn't about Nancy Grace. It's about, Officer Tatum. It's not about the lawyers. It's about us. Don't fall in love with your theory, because once you emotionally attach yourself to a conclusion, every fact becomes personal. Evidence supporting you. See, I told you. Evidence contradicting you. The system is corrupt. At some point, you created theory that cannot possibly be disproven. And anything that cannot possibly be disproven isn't an investigation anymore. It's a belief system. Good investigators should want somebody like Nancy challenging the evidence, because if your case survives hostile questioning, your case gets stronger. You know what I'm saying? So don't be laughing at me, MJ. Here's a rule everybody should use. Before you believe your own theory, cross-examine it. Pretend you hate your own argument. Ask, what's my weakest evidence? Which witness am I trusting? How do I know they're credible? Am I repeating somebody else's interpretation? Did I see the original source? Did somebody use a technical term incorrectly? Could there be another explanation? Because that's essentially what Nancy was doing. She put the narrative on the witness stand, right? And narratives hate. They hate cross-examination. Absolutely, brother Numsi. Narratives want podcasts. Narratives, they want live streams. Narratives want TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Narratives do not want. Can you answer yes or no? You know, they hate that. We know when we get them to start making clear distinctions. Can you answer yes or no? Nothing scares a 3-hour YouTube theory like yes or no. You know what I'm saying? That should be scary though. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have a difference between the courtroom versus the comment section, right? You know what I'm saying? Imagine trying to run a courtroom like a YouTube comment section. Judge, counsel, present your evidence. Attorney, Your Honor, everybody knows. Judge, how does everybody know? It's all over Twitter. Case dismissed. But Your Honor, this post have 37,000 likes. I wish. Oh, why didn't you say that? Bailiff, release the jury. The algorithm has spoken. That's essentially where we've gotten culturally. Popularity has become credibility. You know what I'm saying? Because I was popular enough, it'd be no problem for them to hit the like button. It'd be no problem for them to hit the goddamn super chat. I ain't popular enough. I get it. Popularity has become credibility. You know what I'm saying? Confidence has become expertise and suspicion has become evidence, right? And, you know, that's what I did. Like Nancy's question reminded me, no, you still have to show your work. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Shout out to Conversation with MJ. You are asking for people to use metacognition. Most people are not training that and don't really care to do it because the lie works better. Sheesh. Damn. The lie works better. And the lie works better just reminds me of Officer Tatum, right? And that's why I do like the Officer Tatum's correction. And you know, I gotta give Officer Tatum credit for one thing. If you challenge and you clarify or retract an inaccurate statement, that's better than doubling down forever. We should want people to correct themselves. But once you corrected it, we need to acknowledge what happened. The original characterization wasn't accurate. Don't pretend nothing changed, because if they took a polygraph, they took a stress test. Us, the audience, deserve that correction, especially if the original polygraph claim was being used to strengthen an argument. You can't keep the persuasive power of the first claim after abandoning the factual basis for it. That's like returning the TV to Walmart, but keep it a remote. No, give it all back. What up, Sakwa? I say you got to give it all back. And the lawyers had their own problems, right? Same principle for the attorneys. If you are presenting witness accounts as meaningful evidence, someone is allowed to ask how those witnesses were evaluated. That's not harassment. That's lawyering. And if they were shortcomings in how those accounts were vetted under the procedures, being discussed, and that needs to become part of the public conversation too. Maybe, maybe the witnesses ultimately turn out completely accurate. Maybe they don't. That's what investigation is for. But you don't skip verification. You don't skip verification and then get offended. And then get offended when somebody asks for verification. That's like, it's like, bring me a cake with no ingredients list. It's gluten-free. How do you know? Because the lady who made it seemed trustworthy. Well, guess what? My stomach doesn't accept character references. What Nancy actually exposed when, it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. Let me see where we at with the likes. Let me see. Did we hit 200? Nah. We still need 25 more likes. We still need 25 more likes. We still need 25 more likes. That's crazy. You know what we're gonna do? While y'all hit the like button, get that together, because I need to run to the bathroom real quick. I need to go to the bathroom. And y'all need to go hit the like button. There you go. This is some damn music.
Wireless wake up show. We get it cracking, no acting. Say what you say, but bring facts with it. I'm Sharon Bracey, come face me. All love. But we saw the case be. Boom. Boom. Hey, this the Wireless wake up show. Lights on, case closed. With sips on deck, no capping. Just proof exposed. Facts. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. Nah. Sharon Bracey, come face me. Truth gon' win. Night turns to evidence. Mics, receipts in the file. We talk that street gospel. Broadcast live. Wireless wake up show, the truth unfold. Ain't no games, we chasing facts, we taking hold. Lights low in the studio, the tension thick. Chat scrolling, comments heavy, they expecting this. Look, I drop a jewel, it explodes, scatter in the crowd. Boom, 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 boom. You talk tough in the ends, but vanish when it's loud. I've been smelling smoke, fakeries and fraud. Boss frontin' in the streets, but the paperwork flawed. Receipts stacked tall, timelines crossing the line. This is ghetto court with a beat and a rhyme. Bring your courage, bring your proof, or get exposed tonight. I ain't afraid of the truth, I live for the fight. I'm sure I call your name, come stand right here. It's all love, but the case gotta end this year. It's the Wild Wake Up Show. Lights on, case closed. Receipts on deck, no capping, just proof exposed. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. I'm sure I'm bracing, come famous. Truth gon' win. Witnesses calling, testimony heavy. Facts, city on my back. Foundation steady. This ain't.
Because I don't want you to hear what they're saying. That's why. What you mean why? What you mean why, Lisa? Tell me why. Lisa, did you hit the like button before you asked me questions about why you can't do something? Why you didn't hit the like button, Lisa? Why you didn't hit the like button, Lisa? It's a better question. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. Y'all want to hit the link? Y'all want me to drop the link? Or y'all want me to just keep on doing my thing? Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. Let me see where we at with the likes. I also heard that I believe Andrew Wilson and Candace Owen is debating today. That should be good as well. That should be real interesting. I did 2.5 hours. What you think, MJ? That's good enough for the day? 2.5 hours? Drop the link? All right. MJ said drop the link. Yeah, lucky MJ said drop the link. Good day, beautiful. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I'm gonna let you continue to do your thing, but I just wanted to say that everything from all the interviews from the boys, the lawyers, one thing for sure that I get out of all of it, even though there's a lot of confusion, that neither do these boys believe that Nolan's death was an accidental drowning. The fact that they keep on presenting this as they have to make cases for themselves, but if this was an accidental drowning that had nobody involved or no parts involved, why are you trying to make it seem like it's turned into a criminal case? No charges have been brung out. So even if anybody has their speculation that they might have done something or they might have known somebody to have done something, the way how they're going about it is the reason why people are raising eyebrows on the issue. The fact that the police are not even handling it how they would normally handle any drowning or potential homicide situations when it has to do with someone losing their life. They have not followed protocol at all, right? Like even in regular drownings, if someone fell off a boat or anything like that, just because the medical examiner will say that a person drowned, and you said this earlier, just because you say that a person drowned, there's a reason why a person can drown. A person can drown by homicide, right? So a person they could drown by homicide. Hey, they can even drown by suicide. So now those two things are not capable of happening, and this is why you investigate to make sure that it wasn't a suicide, or if it wasn't a homicide, that it wasn't just a accidental situation, maybe a current quantum, who knows, right? But the way how they're going about it is what's making people raise their eyes. They're doing more trying to plead their case or keep up this reputation that they have, and the reputation of that community and the island. They're doing that more than trying to, continue to speak life in their quote unquote best friend's name, right? They barely ever mention his name, and they'll just say, "That's my best friend." My best friend,
Right.
my best friend, you're my best friend. Like seriously, right? And then I find it like, I don't know if you're gonna play. Maybe you'll probably play next day when you decide to come on. But there's supposed to be a memorial going on for Nolan because his birthday is the 19th of August. So Ben Crump and his mom and everybody told everybody to come down there for the vigil and stuff like that. So I guess because the boys was getting so much smoke of them not showing actual emotions towards Nolan or losing Nolan, but this is your best friend, they went down there with Tater Tot to Horse Island and did a makeshift memorial for Nolan. And it was only 5 of them. Now, mind you, here again, this is a month later. A month later, y'all did not show any concern. Y'all didn't share a tear. Nothing about Nolan. And in fact, you've been attacking his mom this whole entire time. You attacked his mom because she said that, "I don't know this man because I don't really know you. Y'all never really been in my house. I've never really had conversations with you, and y'all attacked her as if she was the one, spewing the narratives. I mean, but she never blamed anyone for her death. She never even thought that her son's death was a murder. Not until y'all just started acting the way that you're acting, and also how the police was handling it. That's what made her draw up the concerns, So it's this whole thing. That's one of the biggest things I would say, because I don't want to start continue to ramble. I am rambling, but that's one of the
you
big
cooking
things.
though. You can ramble. Yeah, I've been rambling for 2 hours.
I know, but you've been doing good, and you've been putting things, into real perspective, because you're spot on when it comes down to how everything is online. You know what I'm saying? Like it really has gotten to the point that as long as you just put a narrative out there and you let the narrative breathe for itself, because you give it life. Once you put it out in the environment, that's it. Now it's the truth. Everything else stopped. And it's sad, unfortunate, because there's a lot of things that have to get corrected later on when other things come out, and the person who initially do it don't ever want to correct themselves, right? They stand 10 feet down on whatever they said, and they just like to brush over it. But it was a big thing that what Tater Tot said about the polygraph thing. He knows the difference between a stress test and a polygraph test. We give stress tests on so many different things. They don't even have to just do with like criminal background. You get stress tests when you go to the freaking doctor. Like, what do you think when they tell you what's your pain level is between 1 to 10? What the hell you think that is?
Right. They do it on the corner of 42nd. They do it on the corner of 42nd Street or in Manhattan. Like, come on.
Right. There's
hold this thing,
Right. There's so many things that is considered a stress level test, and just asking them a certain amount of questions. And then on top of that, you have to take into consideration, whenever the stress level test was taken with these boys, they have to factor in that they have some type of anxiety in their system at this particular time, right? They're being questioned. They're saying that they don't know what's going on. Now they don't know what their friend is, or where their friend is at. Their friend is missing. So there is going to be a higher level of anxiety built in them than the average person because they're going through an experience at that time. So you have to like literally remove that or take a percentage away from that stress level test that you so-called quote unquote gave them. But the reason why he said polygraph, because he knows polygraph, the word polygraph holds weight. It holds weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's perceived more authentic. It is perceived more professional and a standard, right? So you use polygraph to, you know, have people question, well, okay, well, they're speaking to the right folks. They're speaking to the right folks. They're getting the right things done. They're having, you know, standard procedures done. But quite frankly, no standard procedures has been done in this case at all with no one. So my question is, if all the things that has been done in this case is standard, then I think it would be a good case for the CBC and whoever else wants to be involved to wonder why in many other cases that have to deal with other individuals, why wasn't these handled in this way? Which one is the standard now? Because the procedure is like, hey, even if you're just in the vicinity of a crime, they have the right to pull you, detain you for a moment and question you, right? If they feel that, you know what I'm saying? If they feel that you could have been involved in a crime, they can detain you. They can, you know, get search warrants to search your things, search your cell phone, things of that sort. All of that plays out, and that's without them actually having any physical proof. So when you have more proof in this case, for these kids to not even have to even spend one day being detained in jail for questioning, or have their cell phones and their properties, you know, examined and researched. And who knows, maybe that has happened because, like I said, they're going to be closed the mem right now because all this evidence has to go down to the grand jury. But it doesn't seem correct. The fact that the lawyers don't even know whether or not if the boat has actually been researched and examined and checked for blood spills or anything of that sort, that's questionable. You should know that. You should definitely know that. You should have been able to give Nancy a confirm saying the boat was searched. This is the date that it was searched.
Right.
It wouldn't have harmed. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, but you know, even
simple answers.
Yeah, that answer would not have hurt his client's case. But I want to make note to something, right? The three people that they're harping on is only their clients. Now, where is Wyatt and where is Bart? Because Wyatt and Bart was also there too as well. You know, we already made the connections of Bart's boat being there and Bart lying and saying that he was out of town, so he couldn't be there on July the 4th, but he was actually there. He was able to make it back, you know, to participate. I think that those three young men are trying to separate themselves from the other individuals that's a part of their group because they probably might not have anything that can physically tie them to what might have happened to Nolan. However, you know, it could be still negligence on their part anyway, but that's here or there. But I really do see a separation there because even when they did the interview with Tater Tot, Bart Wyatt wasn't there. They brung in this new guy, and then they had their lawyer sitting up there looking like he was one of their group members because the way that they were dressed. And come to find out, they was just on Horns Island before they went to do that interview. They were all on Horns Island on their boat around Horns Island. That's why they was dressed that way. So this is what I'm saying. Like, y'all are so devastated. Y'all so sad that y'all lost your friend. Y'all want to know what happened to Nolan more than anybody else and stuff. But y'all going on Horns Island and boating with your lawyer like it's a regular Tuesday on a summer day. Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I like it. Welcome to the show. Out the Mud, Cody.
Sharon, what good with you, big dog?
I'm doing good. You see me cooking up today?
Man, boy, I was starting to give me a bowl of them noodles. I'm fucking with you. Hey, Miss MJ, what's good with you, young lady?
What up, Cody? Cody?
All right, look, this what I'm saying though. This why I get from this big dog. I think right now, if we really pay attention, I think we getting a chance to bear witness at what it looks like to be innocent until proven guilty.
Interesting.
Because I don't think we really get a fair view with it in most cases. So because in majority of cases with this many circumstances and so much circumstantial evidence, me and my fellow brother Sharon would have been in what they call custody. Goddamn me, you hear me? Ain't nobody been in custody. Nobody paid no bond money. Nobody. It's too free. You hear me?
I 100% agree with you. This is exactly the perfect example of innocent until proven guilty. Something that majority of people in many other communities have not experienced. In fact, majority of the people are guilty and they have to prove their innocence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would have sure been having to prove mine right about now. I'd have been GoFunding me and goddamn me seeing them Sharon come back from China and speak on my behalf for my good brothership. Yeah, but they ain't got to go through none of them stresses and strains, huh? Yeah, I've been having to wait in the commissary line, and yeah, I'd have been on the list. You hear me? For a big dog, I'm telling you. In any two ways I ever seen or ever witnessed that you was or we were, a group of us were suspected to be the last group of people to see this one particular person alive, and how we avoid questioning, how we avoid you understand what I'm saying? The rigmarole, how we avoid the squatting cough.
Right, because this whole idea that Tatum and his lawyer, like, they not being questioning for real.
No, they have. Tatum, I told you when I first came on here and you were speaking about it after the Tatum first interview. I told you it looked like homeboy sitting down having a powwow.
Absolutely,
that was my first statement I made on your panel, big dog, about this situation. You feel?
And that's exactly what it looked like both times.
And I ain't as professional as Nancy Pale lad, but goddamn me, she kind of feel the way I feel.
Nancy was cooking.
You feel me? So she kind of feel the way I feel. She know in any type of situation that this was a group of black men and one white cracker boy who goddamn me and disappeared and gone and drowned. Nobody know he and we all left him out there and they went with the search team and looked for him, and then she know all us would be in custody, big dog.
Absolutely. And no, you're wrong. You don't need evidence of a crime for what we are asking. You don't. There's plenty of reasons when people ask people to come down to the station and ask them questions without them being arrested. So this whole idea that they gotta be in some kind of criminal activity, no, all they gotta do is be a suspicion of a suspect, or are we trying to clear some things up? Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, be the last one seen with your girlfriend and that little bitch end up missing and see what happened.
Right.
They gonna be at your mammy and them house all under the beds and shit. You hear me? Disturbing your mammy and them peace. No, they ain't them old folks ain't had shit to do with it. You hear me? But they gonna be all over there disturbing their peace. They gonna be all over there at your dad at mama house and you ain't seen her in 10 years. You hear me?
Yeah, like,
for real.
Because if I for sure, if I was in that same situation and I was the last person to rent out that boat, they would have definitely checked that boat.
No dogs ain't been on the boat to smell for nobody. No. You understand what I'm saying? If they stop you on side the highway, Sharon, he gonna bring the dogs on GP just to make sure you ain't got shit in there. You hear me? Shit, they ain't even put the dogs on the boat to smell if anything went around that motherfucker, right? So it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? That's what And the only thing that good reading shit work for it seem to be is Cracker, because they find all the loopholes for him.
I'm just happy that a request has been put in for the DOJ to take over the case, and I think they should take over the case because I'm sorry, Mississippi, especially their local law enforcement, they have not proved that they can handle this case and to be forthcoming with all the evidence or anything, or if they're doing everything that they're supposed to do, normally. This has to have a outside investigation, and I'm glad that they're putting forth that even after whatever they come out with the findings locally, there's still going to be a federal investigation. So.
And like, see that autopsy woman, see, like, this little bitch, excuse my friend, big dog, but I don't really respect her. I just off of her look when she came and gave her little old briefing, right? Well, she knew off jump that the second autopsy would result in nothing, big dog, being the fact that he didn't have a full body. She knew he wasn't finding nothing that she didn't representing her findings in the paperwork, right? So if it wasn't there in her paperwork, he wasn't gonna be able to find it without every piece of the goddamn. You get what I'm saying? She knew that off top.
Of course, because I mean the whole situation is that supposedly he drowned because he was found in water. His remains were found in water. So the first thing you're going to have to look at is the throat, right? The throat is going to let you know whether if it was water in there, is going to let you know if there was any pressure on the throat that cut off his airway, because remember your throat has your trachea in it and as well as your tube where the food goes down up, right? Those things are highly important into identifying whether someone drowned, like me and Sharon was saying earlier, drowned by, accidental drowning, homicide drowning, or suicide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, man, it's just too much being put in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Even if nothing malice took place, right? If nothing malice took place, then what's the purpose of not being willing to speak up for your friend? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think there's just a lot too much going on.
And then the big issue with me is that they want to talk about, we called the Coast Guard. Y'all called the Coast Guard the next day. You did not call the Coast Guard the day that he went missing. In fact, on the CTO call, the lady asked, do y'all need the Coast Guard? Because if you're having a boat emergency where it's about to sink in the middle of the ocean, the Coast Guard has the equipment to help you and they can get there faster than the CTO. You told them no. So you're saying, if we committed a crime, why would we call the Coast Guard? In fact, genius, y'all didn't call the Coast Guard. So are you saying that y'all was making moves as you committed a crime?
Great question. Natasha Vincent, for Cody's potty mouth, because we all know he can't help himself.
That was my Canadian connection. Hey, shout out to Tasha. Appreciate you. Hey, but yeah, I agree with you, MJ. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of fluffery. They like fluffing it up too much. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I agree. And then I wanted to take note, and this is just my speculation, my opinion, not factual. They said that, it was very alarming in that interview with Tater Tot when the guy was pretty much, he was going into more detail as in, wouldn't you see somebody on the ground? Wouldn't you see somebody squirming or swirling on the ground? Well, in that still picture that they're showing, you notice how they're all looking down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they act as if they speak as if they was out in the center of the ocean and he fell off the boat and gone disappear type shit. But y'all right here where everybody's standing up in the water, right? Waist high. So how nobody, and it's flat land, ain't no trees, no palm trees, no bushes and nothing to obstruct the vision or whatever the case may be, right? So how nobody out of, you say it was 1,000 people or better out there, how nobody sees nothing on flat land?
Right. Only two people seen them after 6 p.m.
Two
Right,
people
only
that
two
know
people,
each other,
1,000 people.
they caught them kissing and humping on each other in the sand, and they just, well, oh yeah, I seen some black dude. He was the only one. I know it was him.
Right.
But looking crazy, man. That's why, and I think Nancy Gray, when she told him, she was like, why didn't you she was like, I wanted, when I every case I've done, I wanted to know that I was arresting the right person, and so I investigated for myself. Right.
Mm.
And if you paid attention in the actual video, it stumped them because they've done no actual investigation for themselves. They only spoken to the two little white boys that told them what they wanted to tell them, right?
Right. And then on top of that, they admitted themselves, right? When they talked about the enhanced audio, you notice how none of them came out and said that it was a lie. Have anybody made note of that? Nobody said that that was a lie. They just said, oh, somebody put words behind the background when they enhanced it, and that's just the honest truth of what happened. Well, wait a minute. Why haven't y'all taken y'all resources? I mean, y'all got 200K. Why haven't y'all took y'all resources to audio engineer that you can rely on, since y'all like to go to certain people's shows to get interviewed, that you can rely on, that they're not gonna question you with really hard questions? Why didn't you take it to somebody you trust and have them enhance it for yourself as a lawyer? If I understand that the maybe the boys didn't do it, but you could have went and got your own audio enhancer and say, well, this is what our audio enhancer got from the call. But no one wants to even touch with a 10-foot pole what was said in the back of that background. And if y'all having such a quote unquote emergency, why we would hear something talking about that emergency, like, oh my God, the water, pour it out, like you would hear something like that. But nobody has not denied what was said in that background. They just literally try to brush over it all the time. Every single time you ask about that call, is, oh, well, let me tell you about this still picture. Do you look at the still picture?
And too, MJ, with that voice analysis thing, right, in the background, it will be able to determine the rhyme patterns and of each individual voice that was on the boat, right? So it will be able to determine who was speaking at a certain point, right?
Yes, and that's another thing too. Like, if they want to say that, let's say, for example, if they want to say that the call was edited, right, and maybe the words are not what the words are, that still confirms that the voices that you hear in the background were the people that was on the boat.
Yeah, that's
Nobody took nobody took their voices or found their voices online and said, you know what, let's just throw their voices back there, and that's what they were saying. No, that was actually a conversation that was being heard while the call was being made.
So you can't say voices was placed in those spots.
Correct. Correct.
Right.
Yep. And the fact that we all did it. If somebody butt dial you, we be listening extra hard, put the phone extra tough on your ear to make sure they ain't saying something about you.
Yeah.
Like, we all done it. Like, come on. Welcome to the show.
Shannon Shaw butt dial while he was hunting on Michelle.
That man lied, bro.
He had on panties while he was hunting. He butt dial while he was.
Wasn't that Cody? That was.
And I want to shout out to Udo and Go. He was performing in Harlem. He was singing all the Christopher Willis greatest hits. I couldn't tell the difference between the two. I couldn't tell the difference between them.
Old school, bro.
Uda from the old school, bro.
I was you out there on your karaoke shit, Uda.
Chris is the homie. Chris is the shout out to Chris, man. He's still sounding good, man. Still doing his thing, man. Shout out.
Oh, Sharon was joking. That one, Uda.
Huh? What'd you say, Cody?
You wasn't singing?
Oh no, I was out there at the Christopher Williams joint. You know
Oh, yeah.
You can't see the difference because that's some of the dream. You know, that's my joint.
He took you back to goddamn me 90, 91, 89, 90, goddamn me Brooklyn, didn't it, boy?
Yeah, in that 80s bag, bro. Yeah, though, man. Y'all making a lot of good points, man, with this whole case, man, this whole situation. You know, I just been doing a lot of research on this whole case, man, and I just don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know what the hell from left from right. I've been doing other case by case of comparisons of other cases as well. A lot of cases, I went through like 20 cases, you know what I'm saying, in Mississippi. People that was found in rivers, a lot of young people. It's the University of Wisconsin, was a lot of people. It's like the beginning of the Mississippi River. A lot of young people from colleges was disappearing in lakes and in rivers and all types of stuff like that. A lot of them is due to acute alcohol intoxication. That's what it is. It's called no foul play, and it's accidental cold water drownings. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it got me kind of thinking, you know, is that going to be the finding of Nolan?
Yes, for sure.
It's just a lot of funny things with the whole thing, especially this one case, this guy named Luke Hammond. He was a star like basketball player, and he went as well. You know, I mean, he had bruises on his head, on his hands, and different things like that. But they still said it was an accident. And then they said that the bruises that his body did sustain was through traveling in the water, just from traveling in the water and bruises, right? But then when I look at Nolan Wells's autopsy, you know what I mean, which I went through the autopsy, the second autopsy, which was done on the 10th, there's no bruising besides the subcutaneous, the one that's in the occipital region of his head, that discoloration patch that's back there. There's no other like bruising or nothing. But if Nolan's body was in the water for 48 hours, then he would have sustained some bruising. Because, you know, you in the water, you rolling with the waves, you hitting the shoreline, you hitting debris that's in the water, you hitting the seabed, different things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, they were saying that Luke Hammond was in the water supposed to be for like 3 days, supposed to be for like 50 plus hours. But they came to find out to say like, nah, man, we think that Luke was probably in the water for like 3 to 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? And maybe some of those could be the same things when it comes to Nolan as well. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no bruising on him. It was in a place where it was heavily searched. You know what I mean? That's the first places that not only the first investigators that went out to go and see it, and they end up meeting his mom, his dad, and Les George, who's the coach, coming back from the island, searching the western tip as well. The officers got out there. They searched the northern tip. They searched the southwestern tip. They searched the dunes. They searched another part. It's called the chimney stacks on the island. It's like an old, like maybe like barracks or some kind of army type of deal. And it's crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. There's just a lot going on with this case. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you got to read like the autopsy reports, the geospatial timeline report, the police report as well. You know what I'm saying? When you read that as well for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Even look, I shared the autopsy to y'all. I shared different screens to y'all. You know what I mean? When you read these things, then you start to get your own timeline on what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? Based on my timelines of what I'm seeing, based on the autopsy, based on the findings of this, they never gave up the anterior neck structures, right? They never gave up the lung. This is how you would determine if someone drowns or someone was asphyxiated or not, right? And even when you go underwater and you intake water, your throat muscles begin to spasm. So that's another way to see if you're choking, if you drowning, if you have asphyxiated, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the only place that they found. Okay, cool. This is another thing to look at. All right, cool. Nolan was missing from the 4th to the 6th. The state's autopsy was done on the 7th, which is the exact day after. All right. So when they got the body, the second autopsy's date is July 10th. So they got the body 3 days after the first initial autopsy was even done, right? But we know that decomposition is happening more. And with decomposition, it kind of obscures even bruising of certain things as the body begins to decay more and more and more, right? Why couldn't they have gotten the body on the 8th after you were done with the body on the 8th? Yeah, about the 7th you were done. You did your autopsy. Why couldn't they get this body at the 8th? And why didn't they have certain things with the body as well? You know what I'm saying? So it shows you what they went through. They break down what exactly they went through, the cuts that they made, the Y-shaped incision on the anterior torso, all of those things that they did. But this is something that kind of stuck out to me, which if he was really in the water as long as he was, then why is it none of this? See, no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue injury, posterior head dissection, focal area, which was of the red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, occipital region, no fractures, posterior neck dissection, no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue, rib exposure, no fractures, no deep tissue injuries, pelvic dissections, no fracture, no evidence of deep tissue injury, subcutaneous and deep tissue and soft tissue dissections of the back, the buttocks, and the arms and the legs, no evidence of deep tissue injury at all. You know what I'm saying? So was he in the water as long as he was in the water? Because just by being in
He
the water,
wasn't. He
you could
wasn't
get
because
bruises
here's
just
a
by
three
being there. Yeah.
from
Yeah,
3 to 5 days. From 3 to 5 days, the body bloats if it was submerged in water. The fact that they haven't even mentioned any bloating of the body or starting to bloat, and it was 2 days he was supposed to be in the water, means that he wasn't in that water for that long. And you're right about the cuts, the bruises. There was supposed to be cuts and bruises and stuff if he hit against a reef. We seen the pictures of the island is very flat. So,
hey, I'm gonna say this. I might be reaching, but I don't give a damn if I'm reaching at this point right now, though. Look, from where we standing at right now in this situation, it don't appear as if they're making an attempt to adjust this, big dog. You feel me? It don't look like they
depends on what
trying
justice you want and who you want justice for. Justice is happening, regardless if we see it or not. But it depends on who's it happening for and who's the justice being given to. You know what I mean? And it seems like justice is going more on the side of the young men and not of Nolan. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that. You know what I mean? So, you know,
I
they
don't
already
think that
say
the
that he
boys are
heavily
getting
drinking.
justice.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
think that the boys, I don't think that the boys are getting justice. Right now they're just trying to, it seemed like a cover up, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it feels like a cover up. And the fact that a lot of their family members are connected to high people in high places all within the Mississippi court system, that is something to be very concerned about. But that's what it looks like to me. It just looks like a cover up. But I would say at the end of the day, even if we per se might not get the justice for Nolan, we are opening up something that needs to be pretty much have their hands on. We need outside involvement in this. The federal need to start getting into a lot of cases that happen in Mississippi. I don't know if it's so true or not, but they said that they recently found about 200 bodies behind the sheriff's office in Mississippi. I have to check to see and confirm if that is true. But yeah, so this is opening up something that it seems has been going on for a very, very, very long time. We don't necessarily know what it is, but we will have the ability to get those answers that never been answered, and hopefully that will, suffice as justice for Nolan and many other people who haven't had nobody speak to them or speak for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we putting all this pressure on Nolan, but you got to remember there's so many cases, there's so many people who had never got this type of widespread media before, and maybe we could finally, put some things to rest.
Yeah, man. And it's looking like it is from possible truth to the 215 bodies
Yeah,
that were
I think I seen
discovered
a
behind
documentary
it
on that.
in 2023. So yeah, it looked like there's some truth to that too as well. Yeah, man, like I'm saying though, because the young guys are doing interviews, man, and that's one thing. There's still an investigation pending, man. You know what I mean? If it's one thing that you don't want to do is talk at all, man. Especially if you're not a suspect, you know what I'm saying? What you talking for? There's nothing to say. But y'all talking, and when you begin to talk, you end up making mistakes, bro.
Yeah,
That's just
sure.
period. Anybody
Yeah,
will tell you
sure.
there's an actual ongoing investigation going on. Mum's the word, homie. How confident do you gotta be that you're not a suspect? You're not gonna have no shackles put on you. that you out here talking with Officer Tatum over here. For what? And it seems like they talk to him more and they expose more dealing with him. He's talking about everybody but one boy had went and they took the polygraph test. Excuse me, it was a stress tester. But then the lawyer come out to say, listen, man, no one took it but one boy and the girl Katie. See what I'm saying? So you talking too much. I just believe that they talking a little too much. It just seemed kind of fixed how they keep doing these conversations with him. I just think it's just
I
really
prefer
weird.
for them to talk. I think that they need to continue on talking. I think that it's a great thing that they are talking. These interviews are opening up so many things, that silence we wouldn't be able to get out of due to silence. So yes, please talk. Please, put yourself out there. Please try to run it down our throats how much of a best friend you was with Nolan, but you left him stranded on the island because he didn't have a boat, he didn't have his keys, he didn't have his phone. You left him with a girl that apparently he didn't know, but y'all knew because y'all was text messaging with her back and forth throughout the day, whether via Snapchat or whatever IG social media app that you was using. But you was his best friend, and you didn't call for a Coast Guard or look for or worry about his actual whereabouts until the day later, not the night that he didn't show up or back to his parents' house, right? And the fact that when his parents came to your house because they had to go find his phone through the Life 360 app, y'all had the lights off and act like y'all wasn't even there, and then you opened up the door, and then you also gave pressure into not trying to give her his phone or his keys back. Now, there was one thing in that interview with Nancy Gray when they was talking about the phone situation. The reason why the mom is not giving up Nolan's phone is because she is weary that it can be tampered with. There's been proven so far that the Mississippi local officials are not doing right by their son. In fact, she is getting death threats, their family, and they got younger children too, right? Nolan wasn't their only child. Y'all are threatening them. Y'all are trying to make her lose her job. Y'all doing all of that because she's asking about what happened to her son. Like, I want people to really just think about that. She's asking what happened to her son, and now people are trying to harm her family and harm her livelihood. And you have to ask your question, why would you do something like that? What are you so angry about a grieving mother looking for answer? Why are you so angry at her? Because you thought that she was just supposed to shut up and take it, that her son is gone? Now, who would think like that? Who would think that? Yes, I'm angry with you because you're shutting it, because you're being loud. You're making people notice. You're making people pay attention. Who would want you to shut you up?
The villain or the suspect. That's it. That's all. That's it. Who else wants you to be quiet besides that? It doesn't make no sense to me. That's it. Just the villain or the suspect. You know what I'm saying? But it's just mad shaky thing because come to find out, because when you read the police report, share the screen, Shamar. When you read the police report now, you know what I'm saying? It's two things that stand out in this. Even though Bart's boat was searched, another young man's boat was searched too, and they put the card in to download the contents of the boat and stuff like that. So Bart's boat was searched, and he gave full rights for them to search it or whatever the case. But look right here, right? They said from before this line right here. Let's go to this first line here. Look, this line first. Look. This go from right here. Look, boom. It says the 18-year-old son, this is her calling the people, the police. This is her report. Remember, she was contacted around 11 p.m. to say Nolan wasn't there, and then she ended up contacting these people. You know what I'm saying? So they said, son rode to Horn Island on a vessel with friends and last seen around 1,500 hours, but his phone was in a friend's truck. So his phone was never on a boat. This is the police report. Why would he leave his phone in a friend's truck, then get on a boat 30 minutes to an island? You know what I'm saying? So did he have his phone at all? Listen, even if he had his phone on a boat and then the boys called the mom and said, listen, we got his phone in the truck, right? It would have been clear that she knew that the phone was on the island with him. The phone was on the boat, left on the boat. They've taken it off the boat and put it in a truck. But here, the mother's saying that it was left in a friend's truck. So why would he have left his phone in a friend's truck and went to the island by himself, right? And why are we even speculating about pictures that he could have took on the island if he never had his phone at all and his phone was left in the truck at all, right? So that's mad questionable. Okay, that's mad questionable right there. Then this right here, Nolan, that they left and he was in the company of an unknown female. Why is everybody referring to her like this unknown female when there's supposed to be some evidence that Katie knew at least Warren's little brother, Warren's mom, the mayor of Ocean Springs, Cox as well. His name is Cox too. There's a lot of Cox going on around there. But you know what I'm saying? So why nobody know her now? And now she this unknown female, right? So it's like it's just so much suspicious things. But this for a fact that his phone was in the truck. Why is that even a part of the conversation if he went to the island with his phone and his phone was on a boat, right? And why didn't
That's
they bring
because
the phone
they
at all,
were
right?
saying one thing.
Yeah.
That's because they've been lying. That's just the truth. They've been lying and they've been caught in their lies. And you know, it's really sad. It's really sad. Like I'm saying, like if you really didn't have nothing to do with your friend or you wasn't involved with it, you should have been the first in line to be out there really trying to go out and search for him, see what happened, asking people questions and stuff like that. You know, but the way how they've been moving on defense since day one. Like it wasn't even 24 hours before Nolan was found before they got lawyers. So like, you know, it's your actions. Forget your words. It's your actions.
Have they ever been interrogated?
Interviewed, I would think. I don't know about interrogated, but because they're not suspects.
Yeah, by Officer Tatum. That's about it.
And that ain't no interrogation. That's just a conversation.
You saying they've been interviewed by the detectives?
By police, because you can even see here in this line right above unknown female, several friends insisted that they didn't know who this woman was. You know what I'm saying? So you can see this is the police report. This is the first police report that's happening here. You could Google Nolan Wells police report, whatever the case, that'll pop up if you Google that. You could Google the geospatial timeline report. That's from the Navy or whatever the case. That shows the picture of all of the people on the beach, all of the boats, the spacing of the boats, and all of these different things. The supposed 2 witnesses that came out that said they saw Nolan. All of those things is in the geospatial timeline. You could Google that. That'll pop up for you. The second autopsy, there's Nolan Wells' second autopsy. That'll pop up for you. You know what I'm saying? And all of these different things will pop up. And when it all pops up, it shows that conversations was had, people were interviewed. But even several people said Katie was an unknown female. But I got images when Katie had a joint party and Nolan mom and little brother there with the mayor. You know what I'm saying? They all there, bro. So it's like, I don't know, man.
Shout out to PZ ain't going. The feds need to investigate the state of Mississippi because they seem to be covering up the unaliving of black folks. 215 is crazy.
That's a fact, bro. That's a whole fact, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of cases going on, man. Yeah, man. I think Daniel Irvin, was down there too. I think if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but they need to be going in to make some arrests and disbarring some motherfuckers, not just motherfuckers losing their job and going to other counties and states and working and shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna bring up
get involved.
10 more likes, y'all.
That's gonna bring up 1,000 years, bro. To go through that, bro, is to unravel everything else, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. We talking about America, bro. We talking about the history of America, bro. We talking about slave days, everything that we ever been through in this country, bro. To start digging up all of that, bro. Come on, bro. You go hundreds and hundreds of years into everything that's been covered up, bro. It's real. You know they can't get into all of that, bro. Come on. At one point, it was legal and it was all right for them to just do this. It wasn't no cover. Cover-up was plain in sight. No, man, they ain't looking into nothing. That shit, no foul play, to sit. So we didn't even have to think about this. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. Period.
Yeah, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like as far as like if they coming in to investigate on this goddamn trial right here, on this case or whatever the case may be, and they see that the officials that are involved with this case have some wrongdoing and some covering up and some underhanded shit going on, they need to be making arrests instead of this goddamn tapping on the hand shit, standing in the corner with your nose on the wall for 30 minutes bullshit they do to them.
I agree, bro. But like I said, son, you gotta lift up the whole system, bro. To go into the system to do this, bro, you have to start to shake up the whole entire system, bro. There's no way you're gonna go back breadcrumbs and don't find a bread wrapper. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna lead you back there, bro. And when
Nah,
you
but
go back
I'm
to the history
saying,
of Mississippi, bro, imagine what they really was doing.
I'm saying if you already made the statement that it was legal for them to do it at some point, right?
Yeah,
So shit, it defeat the purpose to go back there looking for any damn thing.
Yeah. But when I looked up a whole bunch of white people, I'm talking about, you got to go to comparison. Just like Carmelo Anthony, I was going through case by case comparison. And that's why I've said, like, you know what I mean? His best chances would have been for Carmelo to speak in his own case, because based on other cases, some people that actually got less time of probation, whether they were black or white, they actually spoke in their trials. You know what I'm saying? So that's one key thing that I pulled out of the case by case comparison. In this one, I seen white people, black people, all kind of people that drowned. One guy drowned like 1800, 1900, early 1900s. But everything is accidental, even with white people too as well. So if you're a black person, if this happening with white people and they think it's shady circumstances, mother's still fighting the case right now today, saying it's foul what happened to Luke Harmon or whoever else happened, Skip Skin and the next guy, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Imagine for a black person, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these drowning cases that I looked into, they're all accidental cold water drownings, and they're all due to acute alcohol intoxication. So alcohol is the key factor. And they've already come out from the beginning from the MDR report to say he was drinking heavily. Then they got a witness on there said he had a whole entire vodka bottle in his hand. Like, why you even notice that he did that? He couldn't have been drinking from the bottle, pouring a cup, passing the bottle.
I'm saying that ain't no justice finna be. I don't think they looking for it. That's why I say I'm with you on that. I don't believe any action is gonna be taken about this shit. I don't think nobody's being locked up because they ain't locked up yet. So shit, I mean that's just the way it is.
Yeah, bro. I don't think nothing really gonna.
I hope it comes out. I hope that it comes out that you wrong, Cody. I really do.
Yeah, me three. But shit, hope ain't that help us with God. They don't help us with people.
Right. Hope don't float. No pun intended.
I don't know, bro. It just looks shaky, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It just looks
I
really
know
shaky.
for a fact it's shaky, as that boat was when he called them goddamn people and said he need no help.
No, how you let them do a second autopsy, Cody, right? You do a second autopsy, right? I'll bring it back up and then show you. You do the second autopsy. They don't give you the interior neck structures, right? The anterior internal neck structures. They don't give you the lung. So this is how you're going to determine if a person is fixated to drown.
Yeah, I spoke on this earlier. I'm like, how the hell?
Context of the stomach, though, Cody. They don't give you the gastric context of the stomach, so you can perform your own toxicology report, so you could get maybe a gauge on how much liquor was in his body. If that come back and they say, no, look, it's a 0.035, just like all the other white people.
Hey, Oda, everything you saying right now, I said this when I first came on. I'm like, how the hell you go send for a second autopsy report and expect to get a different result or any result without sending them the full body? You got to be a damn fool.
Then we got to wait 3 days after you had the body when we already been waiting.
Come on,
many days
man.
for the body as well? You caught the body on the 6th. You did your autopsy on the 7th. Why do we got to wait to the 10th when you know that the body's decaying more and more and more every day, no matter if it's on ice?
And the way, did you see her when she delivered her message to the nation?
Who? The autopsy, the first person?
The autopsy lady.
Her name's Stacy Turner.
You saw her, right?
In her background, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Did you see her look in her face when she was addressing the situation? She was like, I'm not giving anything. And she said until the grand jury, knowing that it's up to the grand jury to ask for these. You feel?
The grand jury only does what the prosecution do, especially when there's no
come on, man. So I'm like, this lady is playing games, and the whole goddamn me statement she gave, she playing games. I'm like, what the hell?
No suspect, bro. Grand juries, what up, Taz? Grand juries work with the prosecution, bro. Basically, they're gonna do what the prosecution want to do, bro. Ain't no suspect. You ain't got no body. You just going up there with some evidence.
Yeah, I say this lady playing games in the statement. She gave a full statement for nothing just to sit here and play in your mouth. But I mean, scared me in your face. For real though, and that's just what it was. I'm like, man, I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm like, I can't believe this. Can't nobody. I wonder who's all seeing this with me and viewing what I'm viewing. You feel me? And she just I'm like, come on, man, you can't. This woman said until the grand jury, as if it's a must that the grand jury see. When knowing that the grand jury got to add, hey, we want to take a look at such and such and have that put into the file. They got to ask for it, right? And 9 times out of 10, like Uda saying, they going along with what these people got as verifiable in their paperwork, right?
That's it, bro. Because come on, let's think about it. They wasn't able to do their own analysis of the throat, the internal neck structures of the lung. Rule this out. They never got no gastric content, so they can't do their own toxicology report to know how much he was drinking or whatever substance to know that.
Mm-hmm.
They never got a chance. So all of this is going to go to the grand jury, right? Whatever they say their findings are is what the grand jury is going to hear. So if they say, look, man, we ain't seen no foul play, no this, and that, that's what the grand jury's hearing. There's no suspect. There's no body here that they can say. I'm not talking about a physical body. I'm talking about as far as a suspect's body. Like this person did it. So there's none of that there. So they're only going to follow what the prosecution's going to say, bro. I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10. Yeah, bro.
Welcome into the show. The GOAT. Good day. Welcome to the show. Taz, how you feeling?
Taz, salute.
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I don't know, man. I hear y'all, man. I got kind of annoyed with this case, bro. It just being not for real. I feel like people on the internet did a great job in botching whatever investigation that could have been beneficial that can come from the internet. So let me explain.
Damn.
Same way Brandon Tatum went down there to exonerate them 5 people, it's thousands more people that was there. If their story is to be believed, which I don't even believe it, but if their story is to be believed, that means we've kind of just boxed ourselves in with 10 suspects out of maybe 1,500. And what we didn't do, and now we over a month in, is get some names, get some more people, add some more people to this conversation, because now we're kind of limited in talking about Warren and Bart in the boat and the same story that may or may not be. Because again, I just don't trust them. However, if their story is valid, that they left him there, if that has truth to it, I don't feel like it was investigated, and even worse, there was no pressure put on Mississippi to investigate that. You know, as the internet goes at times, so too does an investigation, and that pressure could have been applied to say, well, fam, y'all ain't gonna expand this now. When do you expand this investigation to, you know what I'm saying, let us see that you at least taking a look at others? Because right now it is kind of limited to maybe 5 to 7 people, and it's like, but what if they did leave? What if that did happen? They left him there. Now he's there with 1,500 people we've never even discussed.
Very true. Especially even the one that they had to fight with. What about them? Like, who was
That's
out
why I've
fighting
been saying
with?
it's hard
You
to
don't even
believe
know who they are,
nobody out
man.
of
That's
thousands
crazy.
of people saying nothing. That's what I'm saying. And for not to been to talk to nobody is ridiculous. And 2 people jump up out the blue that came together, leaving together, and the only 2 people to say that they seen him after a certain time. Come on, all that shit is like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Very
questionable.
And it is very questionable. There's no argument there. If it comes out that these young men are legit with what they are saying, who are my other suspects? It's a great point. Who is this drug dealer? But, Officer Tatum said he got all that information. He got the names. He got pictures. He's going to pass the names off to the, all of a sudden we got like an extra 20 names as in interest, according to Officer Tatum. So maybe it's just being on a hush. It's being quiet but as they gathering information for the grand jury. Hopefully that's what's happening, Taz.
Nancy was putting the press on yesterday, though. She had the press game on him yesterday.
Yes, she did.
She did. She absolutely put the press on those lawyers. She made it She showed that she is a level
Nah, they got
above.
Nancy messed up, big dog. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna show you another thing. You guarantee you can bet your bottom dollar they would never let them boys sit across from Nancy, big dog.
Nancy's a former prosecutor.
Nancy
Bro.
dangerous, boy. I'm telling you,
prosecutor, bro.
Nancy dangerous, boy.
Come on, bro. You don't want that smoke, bro.
She dangerous, man. I'm telling you.
Her spin moves is crazy.
She so
bro.
dangerous. I used to watch Nancy in the early 2000s, and I'd be like, I can't stand this bitch, but I like her though.
Bro, she said some shit yesterday to that motherfucker Brandon Tatum on some shit like, yeah, just like when you said they took the polygraph test and actually hadn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just talking great. It was
playing her face now.
You know, Brandon thinks that he can go amongst white people and hobnob with them, and you know what I'm saying, everything gonna be love. Like, you know what I'm saying, Officer Tatum really think everything good. And so I think when he gets in front of somebody like Nancy Grace, he get that reality check. Like, none of that shit you can kiss ass all you want. None of that shit don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's not, you know, she can care less. And it's
See,
crazy.
people like Tatum don't understand. They really the ones they really don't like.
Right. She talking crazy to him. She had them attorneys on there. I don't know if you reviewed that shit, Sharon. Bro, she was talking crazy to them attorneys. Bro, she told dude to shut up. You don't even know what you talk about. Like, are you a medical examiner? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I said, damn, Nancy would not be
She don't play. She got smoked. Was it the black attorney with the like Don Cheadle?
Nah, it was two white dudes she had on there yesterday with Brandon Tatum.
I was just interviewing her being up on some lawyers, but I don't think I've seen that part yet. Or maybe I overlooked it.
She had him on there yesterday. The episode, man, that shit. I had to call my wife in here, rewind it back. Like, man, look how she's talking to these motherfuckers, bro. Like, man.
Yeah, she don't play with them, Taz, for real though.
She has smoke for their ass. I was enjoying it. I was thoroughly entertained by how she was questioning them and making them stand on things and like.
Hey, Taz, you must don't remember how she checked that girl.
Shout out to
her
PCA
mom and daddy.
Full court press. Go ahead, Cody.
You remember that girl? You remember that girl? That little baby that got the little model baby got kidnapped and shit back in the 90s.
John Benet Ramsey.
Yeah. Look, do you remember how she was handling her mom and daddy?
Yeah, bro. She was on Jody Aries like that,
man,
bro.
She was checking that shit, man. She was not playing with them people in there, man. Think it's a game.
You know,
she was checking that shit.
She ain't one of my favorite people because she a prosecutor, but like when I tell you she got that entertainment value.
I'm telling you, Tad, that's how I was when I was looking at her back then. I was like, I can't stand this bitch, but I like her though, because she witty, she cold with her thinking process. You feel me? She cold with her thinking process. Once you pay attention and get past the DA part, because I don't like no law enforcement. But I'm saying,
hey, you know what's crazy about it? She was going to become a teacher.
Man, she was probably gonna teach something like science or math. Yep, science or math.
She was gonna be a math
and
teacher.
She was gonna be a mean ass science teacher too, boy.
No, she was gonna be a math teacher, but her boyfriend at 19, when she was 19 years old, her boyfriend got unalived, and that's what she said. What? And it got unsolved, and that's when she became a prosecutor. Oh well, that's what she decided to go into law. And then become DA and
she was gonna be. Yeah,
it's so crazy how something could change your whole trajectory in life. You know what I mean, she had a purpose for why she wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But I mean, she had also it's been rumored. I don't know if it's true or not. It could be a true stat. I don't know if it's a rumor or not. But she did 100 cases in a row without losing. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, she never took an L in that own thing.
100 in a row is crazy. Even if she lost 1 or 10, I don't care. But 100 in a row is wild.
Man, she been bad out the gate. I'm telling you, bad out the gate.
Mm-hmm. Now, I bet she could read her ass off too, Cody.
Oh, she probably can't. She just can outthink them.
Nah, she definitely got that thinking part down.
You see how she outthought them two lawyers sitting there together, and they work together every day.
And they work together. God damn.
Every day. Wear the same hat on their head with a dang-a-lang on it. And she outthought both of them right there at the same time together. They couldn't patch up and beat them.
Dang-a-lang on it. Yeah, that's enough, bro.
Yeah. It was awesome to see how she used the English language to whoop their ass too.
They couldn't patch up and beat them. She was more witty. The little bitty dude thought he was going to be aggressive with her and stuff.
With the little beaver teeth?
Yeah, little bitty dude, when he popped up, he wanted to have a little aggressive attitude, like he was, I'm not gonna take that from you type of attitude, you feel me? And she was still stepping all on his back and his neck.
Yeah, she beat him up pretty bad.
I just seen that right here looking at it with you though. I ain't watched it.
Yeah, me and you watched it together.
Yeah,
I seen some of it. I seen who she was talking to, and I was like, "Oh, she look like she's about to get spicy." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna review this. This is gonna be fun." I knew it. I knew she was gonna get spicy on them.
Yeah, she don't really play with nobody though. When she got a stance and she feel like something ain't what it is, she gon' stand firm on that, big dog. That's just the way I've seen her play over the years. I thought she was done. I didn't even think she was still on her shit. Like I thought she had like retired or something. I don't know. I ain't seen her around.
I ain't never heard of her until just now.
Man,
I feel like I heard. You
Sharon.
know what? I'm lying. I feel like I heard her name, but I just never actually seen or
Sharon, go look at that Nancy. Go look at the little girl, how she handled the mama now. Go look at that. Go Google it and look at that later on, Sharon. Hey, boy. This was in the 90s. You hear me? Man, this was in the...
I need 4 more likes, y'all. 4 more likes.
That lady don't play. She been like that. She the same face expressions, the same aggressiveness, the same... I know how to navigate this conversation. She... that type of person. She been that since back then when I was looking at her.
Yeah, that's lit. She dope. I'm gonna have to catch her more often. See her on the next case too. She on this Nolan Wells joint though. I wonder how this Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens thing went. Who you think won?
Shit, I don't know what they debating.
I don't know. I think
who
they
is
I
Andrew?
think they debated on Officer Tatum's show, to be honest.
Who they? I ain't looking at them damn people, Sharon. I don't give a damn about Candace and that little white boy. You talking about the little white boy be over there on Fat Them show?
You the one that be smoking all them damn cigarettes?
Yeah, I don't. Man. Yeah, I know she probably dog walked his little ass.
It's gonna be interesting because they both kind of debate kind of the same too. So it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be interesting to see how.
Yeah, but she's smarter than him though.
Yeah, I would hope so. I hope she
It appears from what I've seen of him, she appears to be smarter to me.
Yeah, to me too.
It just depends on what they debate, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the real thing. What they debating on, and who got the funny. Like, that's why I'm curious to see how they went
got the witty shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because both of them are pretty entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, it's about what they debating on, whatever they debating on, and like I think she should beat them on the cool. I think she like smart on the cool.
Yeah. All right, Corey, I'm gonna get up out of here.
Be good, big dog.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, should I say some closing thoughts? You know, I was thinking about saying some closing thoughts like, welcome to cross-examination. And that is why this conversation was so you know what? I'll see y'all asses later. I'll probably hop on I'm gonna hop on the super panel later on today. So I'm gonna go take a nap. I got a phone call in the next minute. Well, anywhere between 1 and 3. So I'm gonna try to take a nap in between that. I'm gonna try to take a nap in between 1 and 3, and then I'll be right back at 5. So we could kick it again, and we're gonna talk some ish about relationships. You know how that go. We're gonna have a good time. All right, y'all. See y'all later. See y'all later on tonight, and maybe we even do a show tomorrow. I'm not sure, but let's keep on grinding. Make sure y'all rock with me the way I'm rocking with y'all, because if y'all rock with me, I'm rocking with you. So let's keep it grinding. Let's keep this thing going. We hit some nice numbers today. SBG, we up out of here.
Nothing wrong with being.
Hype me up.
Let me